And a very good afternoon to you, no matter where you're joining us from down here, as we bring you all the action from Shark Park. The home side Tarwin, fourth on the ladder, up against the highly touted Fish Creek unit, who come here having only dropped one game for the season. On the Jeep, joining me in commentary today, Ken Hutchinson, League Board Member, Umpire Extraordinaire and all-round good guy. Welcome, Hutchie.
Thank you very much, Jeep. Yes, what a day today. The weather's holding off. The facility here is looking magnificent, being the sandy-based soil. It's going to be dry. It's going to be lending itself to a fairly high-class game, I'd reckon.
And also behind the microphone today, offering up some special comments, the League's Publicity Officer, Mitchie B.
Afternoon, everyone. Should be a cracking day for some great footy being played, hopefully. We'll see.
Now, your role as Publicity Officer, Mitch, what's that see you doing on a weekly basis for the League?
Well, last week, it actually saw, a couple of weeks ago, it saw me playing a game for Bellara. That was quite fun, but most weeks, getting in contact with the coaches, getting some messages out, trying to get my head around the events of the local footy, writing up some articles, sending off an audio report to be played on the radio. And,
of course, the online presence as well. The article goes up there each Friday afternoon, the preview of the round ahead. And then usually on a Sunday afternoon or Monday, we get the review of what's happened. And look forward to reading that each and every week. And as you say, you are lucky enough that a lot of the coaches jump on board and offer up their thoughts on that. And a couple of the coaches here, playing coaches, Lockie Jones and Jordan Shaw, I'm sure are the kind of coaches who get involved with you on a regular basis.
Yeah, definitely. It's been really good getting some contact with some playing coaches. Not only have they got the coaching background that they're able to give me plenty of information about, but they're actually also out there getting involved in the game.
And you definitely would have corrected me that it's Jared Walker, not Shaw, as the coach for Fish Creek, of course. But nonetheless, they're out there. A couple of big matchups here today, Hutchie. Is there anyone in particular you're keen to keep an eye on?
Well, we've got Big Will, your man, Jeep, back. Big Will's back. First game since round 5. But we lose Charlie Wilson. So... yeah, but normally, I think it's going to be a big task. So it's fourth versus third, so Tarwin have only dropped 2 games going into today, and both of them have been against Meenian and Yanar. So they really, at some stage, to become a contender, they need to take a scalp. And home deck, a King's birthday weekend. What better day to take one?
Yeah, interesting point you make about Yanar there. If you just take a line through the Yanar side, I think Fish Creek got over the top of Yanar by a kick, and I think Yanar got over the top of Tarwin by a kick. So that basically puts the two sides pretty level, but, a goal either way sees these two sides pretty evenly matched. I think Tarwin might be a little bit sneaky good this year. I think they've played some good footy, and they might be a little bit better than people give them credit for, and they've got some big ins today, which Mitch will read through for us in a moment. And I think it's probably nearly their strongest side they've had on the park all year. A couple still out, but I think this is not a bad side for them, Mitch. They're ins and outs for today for Tarwin.
Coming into the side, we've got Harmer, McCarthy, Hetherington, and the big in would be Matt Williams, first game of the year, multiple team of the year winner in the past, so he should be a massive in. Coming out of the side, we got Cameron, Francis, McLeod, and Mahoney. So Mahoney being their top goal scorer of the year. Will that prove a little bit of difficulty for him finding the ball through the big sticks?
Yeah, the avenue to goal, he's been good at it this year, but you can only go with what you've got out there. And Fish Creek, a couple of changes as well.
Yeah, coming in for Fish Creek, we got Williams, Smith, and the big McTaggart. He's got to be one of their biggest goal threats. Definitely not the leading goal scorer, but he's proven that he's able to find the big sticks when needed.
And for me, Hutchie, I like my matchups. I'm always big on the ruckman, as you well know, but is it possible today, is it conceivable today on the King's birthday, could we have the most regal matchup in the history of the Mid-Gippsland Football League? Fergus Warren playing on William McTaggart. Just has a nice royal kind of ring to it to me.
Yeah, one would have to be Scottish and one would have to be Fergus. Would have to be Irish, would he?
Yeah, just had a sort of a King Charles type feel to it to me. But nonetheless, now's the time we've got to put our credibility on the line. I've got none, so I've got nothing to lose. You other guys that are heavily involved in the competition have got a little bit more. So we need a tip and a margin from you both, please.
All right. So what I'm thinking, Mid-Gippsland football, senior football, has been really good for the triangle win. A beats B, B beats C, and then C goes on and beats A. We haven't had one this year yet, so I'm picking Tarwin at home to finish the triangle.
Okay, and the margin?
6 points.
Okay, nice close one. Yourself, Mitch?
I'm going to have to lean with Fish Creek here. I think they're a class side. I think their culture's too based on winning, so I think they're going to be able to get over the top of the home side today by under a goal.
Under a goal. Either way, we've got a close game. I was actually going to plumb for Tarwin on the way in. I was thinking the whole way down, I can just see Tarwin getting it done. But that loss of their key goal kicker just makes me think they're not going to be able to kick the 14 or 15 that I think they're going to need to go with Fish Creek. I think Fish Creek get it done. I think it will be close, but not quite as close as you guys. So I'll probably say an 18-point margin to the Kangaroos. So only a couple of moments away from getting things underway here. Conditions out there are better than you might have anticipated on the drive down because, gee, she was dark and gloomy, but a little bit of wind, no groundwater to speak of, and ground looks in A-grade nick.
Yeah, so the ground is in very good condition. Ran around it earlier today. Just while we're on grounds, umpires today, Barry McCoy, Steve Smith. So the real McCoy and Smudge Smith. So they'll be adjudicating our great game today.
And sides just making their way into the middle now. A couple of key matchups for yourself, Mitchell, that you're interested to keep an eye on for us?
I want to see in the middle who goes to Matt Williams. I think he's going to definitely start in the middle for Tarwin. I think he's going to be a very damaging player, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to shut him down. Jacko Wiedemann as well. He's going to be another one that Tarwin have to watch. He's a massive accumulator of the footy and can normally do some pretty damaging things.
Yeah, he's a big meter gainer too, Jacko. He can pick it up, he can run with it for 20, and then he can thump it about 60. So when he gets his hands on it, the ball generally goes a long way in the direction that he wishes it to go. Not sure if Williams will start in the middle or not. I've got a funny feeling he might start forward for his first game back. So just looking into the middle of the ground now, we can see Batako in there, who's one of the recruits for Fish Creek this year. It looks like McLeod's going to start in the middle, who we thought was actually out, but he's in. So it's not bad, is it, coming from out of the side and then just starting on the prune in the middle of the ground. And the big ruckman in there will be Cummings. And we can see the Wiedemann 1, Wiedemann 2. Who else we got in the middle there for Fish Creek? There's only 3 of them in there at the minute. Oh, no,
Mitch Hicks.
Mitch Hicks will be the other one in there. So Red will do the work in the air.
Yep.
In the ruck. And just seeing if they've all gone 6-6-6. It looks like they've all lined up pretty well. Mitch, you'll keep an eye on the key forwards and their matchups for us. As we can see here, they're trying to drag Jack Hayes out of the play here. Tarwin by starting his play around on the wing, and Hayes is just saying to the bench, do I start at centre-half back or do I show my opponent a little bit of respect? And at the moment, he ain't showing him the slightest bit of respect. He said to Troy Harley, you can go and play wherever you like. I'm going to go and get the footy at centre-half back.
Big fella, McTaggart's gone to full forward. So, he's their second leading goal scorer for the year.
I think if we look per game, he might be slightly in front because he's missed a few. But the umpires here, just taking a bit of time here, a bit of me time. The umpires run all the way down there.
Just trying to get someone from over the fence. A kid, I reckon.
Yeah. I would have thought you'd just blow your whistle and say, kid, get over. But nonetheless, who are we to criticise the fine chaps out there in their lovely lime green? I wish they'd throw the ball in the air, though, because I'm just about fresh out of talking, Hutchie.
Yeah, joke.
Interesting one for me is Luke Williams has gone forward for Fish Creek. So rather than starting in the middle, he's starting in the forward pocket, accompanying McTaggart. So could be looking to just go long and hope that if it hits the deck, you got Williams there.
And a change here. Tarwin have responded to that change. They've responded exactly to that change, taking McLeod out and inserted Garnham into the middle. So that's the latest of late changes. Haven't delayed the start. He's started in the forward flank, and instead Garnham's gone into the middle, which is probably where he's accustomed to playing most of his footy. So that's a red hot brigade in there now with Yan in there, Batako, and Garnham at ground level to do the roving underneath the big ruckman that's gone in there in Harrison Cumming.
I will add that scheduled start time is 2:20, so it's maybe the umpires are onto it. They're just waiting for a scheduled start time.
Well, this feels very much to me like standing outside the pub at 10:58 a.m, knocking on the door saying, come on, let's just get things underway. I know it says 11, but we're all thirsty. But nonetheless, we'll sit back and wait and see what comes of it. Both sides out there ready to go. Might interview the Fish Creek runner. He's offered me some advice in the past. He's a ripping character. You had much to do with him, much?
No. Wearing the sponsor's hat from last year's premiership too.
Yeah. Pretty hard to miss in the bright orange get-up too, with the dark background.
Proud sponsors TTMI. We might as well just completely go off track.
Well,
Jeep.
If they're going to put their cash up and sponsor, we'll do everything we can to shout them out like we do all our sponsors here. Mitchie's actually knocked back a shift at one of our sponsors today to come in and do the call. He's knocked back a shift at the Yanar Hotel, so he's not in the good books there. But finally, we're underway, and Wiedemann goes up against Cumming, and Wiedemann down to Wiedemann. We'll see that a fair bit today. No one can get it clear. Stacks on the mill. That's a decent old dusting. And the umpire said, you know what? I'm not going to toss it in the air. I'm going to pay a free kick, and it's going to go to Fish Creek, and they'll get things underway through Wiedemann, kicks into the forward 50. Leading out, dropping what he should have taken the half forward. Their ball hits the deck at ground level. Smith on the drive-by can't take the hands cleanly. It's a hot footy early doors. Tarwin settle it down through numbers. They get the handball out there to Batako. His hack kick comes forward to centre wing. Hayes there, the loose man, the long sleeve, usually calm. Fumbles, unusual for him. Garnham wrapped up in a big tackle. She's a hot footy, Hutch. I like this.
Yeah, no, very good start. Very good start. So, ball up now. The umpire, Smith, comes in, just looking for two ruckmen. Cummings from Tarwin. Oh, gets ridden by Wiedemann. Wiedemann taps it on. Gets it back to Coates. Coates on it. Jack Hayes. And here we go. McGannon up down the wing. And I'm the one that's going to see around the corner there. And it's a mark to... Who is it? Levi Coxedge. Kicks it long. Down toward McTaggart. Who spoils. And so coming again, handball's out, gets it out again to Tarwin, and it's just going to roll out of bounds in the forward pocket. Very hard to see around that corner, but yeah, it's gone out of bounds. So
let's assume they're playing the national anthem. We'll rise, and we'll see the young fella flick it back into play about 8 metres around from the goal. Shark out of the ruck, gets around one, gets around two, wanders in and dribbles the ball over the goal line. That's a fantastic start there for Fish Creek. 1 forward, 50 entry, 1 goal. Don't mind me, that was absolutely sensational.
yeah, well, he's going to take a lot of stopping, the big fella. And that's probably Fish Creek in a nutshell. Contested, then get hold of the football, move it along very calmly and cleanly, and end result is a goal.
Yeah, hopefully this is the way that the game continues for the day. It's been very hotly contested in the first couple of minutes here. We've only had 2 minutes gone on the clock, and we've already got a Fish Creek goal coming from more contest work, and it seems to just be the regular customers for Fish Creek that are getting the job done for them.
So back in the middle we go. Wiedemann coming gets it down. Only as far as the other Wiedemann, gives it back to the Bro. The Bro flicks over to Williams. He can't take it cleanly. Jacko Wiedemann now crashes in, and he's wrapped up in a tackle straight away. And you get a kick in the middle today, Hutchie. You dead set earn it, because these boys are hard at it, both sides. It's a strong midfield unit, probably as strong as anywhere in the comp. Coming goes the old back tap. Get out of the way. Walker grabs hold of it, thumps it down in the McTaggart direction. The big boy gets down there, swallows the footy. My man's on today, Hutch. We're going to have an absolute belter.
Righto. Going to run out of ink, possibly in the left far forward pocket at the southern end. He's going around the corner. He's played on. He stabbed at it, and it's gone across the face of goal for a behind. So, yeah, that was deep in the pocket. I don't think he would want to be taking too many shots from in there.
He didn't really take the snap around the corner either.
No,
He ran around and kicked a drop punt. Unusual. So nonetheless, Tarwin will bring this ball back into play. And
Lockie Jones.
so the coach will bring it in. Hopefully he goes far side so we can see it. He does exactly that and goes short. Mark taken in the back pocket. And we could have a guess, but we won't bother because we've got no idea who that is. Garnham comes central trying to get the ball back through the middle of the ground, but the kick goes long down the line of the wing. Hayes sets up underneath it, can't get his hands on the footy. It's brought to ground. Centre wing, far side. The umpire's going to have to ball that one up. There's about 30 humans around it.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of work done. There's Big Cumming picking the ball up too. I think he's one of the very few targets they're going to have. Ball goes up. Wiedemann wins the tap out. And it's still congested in there, and he's got hold of it again. That's Hicks, I think. Back to Wiedemann. Down forward. It's in half forward like. Tarwin picks it up, gets a kick away, but it's smothered. Tap on. Oh, boy, it's congested. And he's paid a throw. So that's gone to McGannon for Fish Creek, and he's hit up.
Mark taken inside the forward 50 here. McTaggart offers the lead. Goes in that direction. And it hits the big barrel-chested boy right in the guts, and he'll go back and have his third shot on goal inside of 5 minutes. Wowee. Man on fire, Denzel Washington out there. He is absolutely ripping it apart. If you can kick this one, you can go back and have 2-1 inside of 5 minutes, and that's the stuff dreams are made of if you're the Fish Creek side. Stuff for nightmares if you happen to be the Tarwin fullback.
Yeah. Goes back, takes a shot. Field umpire gives it the all clear, and it's a goal. That goal number 2, William McTaggart. Yeah, so they're starting to move the ball pretty well. I think the game will settle, and Tarwin will just have to try to get their hands on the ball, and that's, like I said, that's coming in the middle of the big ruckman. He's going to have to try to work out a way to get it to the advantage of his midfielders. Yeah, they're just starting to struggle a little bit at the moment.
Seems like Fish Creek are happy to play this congested game because anytime they get any sort of meterage of space, they're able to just use their skills by foot and find a target where needed.
And the score, Mitch?
2 goals, 1 plays nothing. All scores coming from Will McTaggart.
So back in the middle we go. And this time Cumming gets it down to Garnham. They get that little bit of separation, but laying a tackle there straight away is Williams. He gets onto the right shoe, kicks it out towards the canteen. I could say he was aiming for Cameron, but it was closer to the hot dog than it was to Thomas Cameron, and we'll ball this one in about 65 around from the Fish Creek goal. Right in front of what is a really packed social club out there, Hutch. They've come out in their masses.
Yeah, no, this is the idea. That's why you want to have a King's birthday game, to get more crowd in there. Ball gets thrown back in. Cumming gets down to... I don't know who that is. It's gone along the wing, number 2. Garnham again. He's doing well.
Mark taken there by Tarwin. I think that's going to be Hetherington. So that's the 2 of Tarwin's listed midfielders have both gone forward in Kane McCarthy and Will Hetherington, both of them starting forward, and it seems like it's paying dividends for him now.
Well, don't stop while you're on a roll, Mitchy B. Tell the people how far out he is and what happens from here.
It's probably about 35 out on a 35-degree angle, swings around on that left foot, makes the goal umpire work, and it's going to go through near side for a behind. First score for Tarwin.
So that makes the score 2-1-13 to Fish Creek, 1 behind Tarwin, and Tarwin bring it back into play and go thump, and they kick it out as far as the coach's box. The big fly comes in from behind. No one can take the mark. Ball to be won at ground level, and it's a hot footy again. Cracking in and then ripping out of handballs Wiedemann. They get the ball forward through weighted numbers only. Now they're out into a little bit of space. They can find a target by hand here, can they?
No. Umpire's played throwing the ball. That was Luke Williams throwing the ball. It's gone to Kane McCarthy. McCarthy swings around on his right foot, goes deep into the forward line. Boiled, spoiled, and Fish Creek picked up again. And there's Mitch Hicks in the middle of the pack, and I'd say umpire Steve Smith comes in and says, "I'll have it, thank you."
They're only 1 handball away from being out there, Fish Creek, but the good pressure by Tarwin to hold it in. So up and down it goes again. Cumming gets a tap down, but only as far as McGannon. He's wrapped up in a tackle straight away, drops the footy. And advantage paid here, so they'll take it forward there through Ben Allen. Allen kicks into the forward 50.
And that's been marked by Del Pozzo. He's about 45 out on the boundary. This would be, for the right footer, this would be sheed from the boundary. It's going to need to be inch perfect here. He's definitely winding up to have his shot, going through his full routine. He's definitely about 45, 50 out, right up on the boundary line on the arc. Coming in to take his shot. He hasn't looked up to the middle, so it doesn't look like he's going to pass it off. He's gone for home and pushed it right across the face of goal, and it's going to go through. It's going to go out on the full. So he's done well to kick it that far, but 0 accuracy from him there.
And Fish Creek waste no time in turning defence into attack. They come in short, mark taken in the back pocket. And getting onto the left leg goes long down towards centre wing there. Wiedemann comes from behind, brings the ball to ground, as good as a mark in that situation. And Fish Creek have the numbers at ground level. They hack the ball up to half forward. McTaggart's come a long way from the square. Takes a big grab. Go back and kick it tall, Big Will. The umpire's paid a free kick against him. There should be a law against that. Paying a free kick against McTaggart. But nonetheless, Tarwin will take the ball on the half-back flank and just look to settle things down here. They've come back into the game in the last couple of moments. Just need to hold on to the footy for a little bit to my eye and see if they can get a bit more scoreboard pressure going forward. They get it up as far as centre wing, and the umpires played 10-pin bowling. I'm not sure what that rule is, Hutch.
I'm thinking he's playing a throw.
Okay. So now Fish Creek go again. McTaggart
pushed
again with the push. The umpire said you can get away with it this time because you didn't take the mark. And Tarwin will play on at ground level. Umpire stalks, watches, trickles over the boundary line for a throw-in.
On the left half forward flank for Fish Creek there. Young umpire McRae, young umpire, homegrown boundary. We've got Wiedemann here and Cumming again in the ruck. They set themselves. Cumming wins the tap again. Onto Hicks. Mitch Hicks bombs it forward towards McTaggart. Oscar Bright chips in front, drops it. Gets it on back. Fish Creek have got it. And out comes Wiedemann. Wiedemann spoiled. And Oscar Bright has picked it up, snapped. And I think he's starting to celebrate. That's a goal to Oscar Bright.
Yeah, he got in the celebration as soon as the ball left his foot there, the young fella. He's done well, but ball in the forward 50. Repeat stoppage. We see another goal go to Fish Creek.
One thing I can confirm that'll make everyone happy is that we have got the matchup we wanted at the start of the day. We have got Fergus versus William. So we've got the King's Birthday matchup, and it seems like at the moment William McTaggart is dominating that matchup.
Scottish beating the Irish.
Yes.
So the ball comes back. The umpire's just dropping it in there. So still got coming in the ruck against Wiedemann. It's probably one of the starting to do pretty well out of the ruck now. Cummings doing a fairly good job. The big fella comes in again. Umpire throws it up. Wiedemann wins this one. Cumming picks it up. Umpire's paid a free kick to Fish Creek. Luke Williams picks it up. Spreads wide to the wing. Onto Harrison Smith. Smith goes forward to Tommy Cameron. Tommy Cameron leads out. And I reckon he's done that about 7,000 times. Leads out at just about the 45-metre mark. And sort of directly in front, kicking to the southern end. So
2026, Thomas Cameron got this in his leg.
Seems there was a bit of a structural mishap from Tarwin there. Might have allowed for this set shot from Cameron. It's going to be about 45 out, almost directly in front. And Ken, I'll let you call this one home.
Yeah, so Cameron swings around to his right and he makes the distance. So he picked up a little bit of distance, and I see he's knee braceless today, so he must be fit.
Gets thrown up this time, so they won't have a loose forward. Back in the middle we go, and it's Fish Creek again getting the ball out. This time they go through Rhett Wiedemann. He mungs one into the forward 50 at ground level. Oscar Bright gets in there, lays a big tackle. Umpire's been hot on that. Houston now lays a tackle himself, and the umpire will come in and ball this one up about 53, 54 metres from the Fish Creek goal. Tarwin came back into it for a couple of minutes there, Ken, but it's been all the Fish Creek boys in the last few.
Yeah, just clearance. I see Jackson Wiedemann coming up to the ball. Oh, yeah. Brother of wins the tap down, and I think it's going to be another ball up again. So, the pressure from Tarwin's going to have to be hot all day. Otherwise, if Fish Creek get him on the outside, I think we'll see him run away.
So the ball goes up again about 54, 55 metres out. Umpires let the two ruckmen maul each other. Ball comes to ground. It's won by Fish Creek initially. Tackle laid. They go backwards through the hands to go forward. Lammer's in there, gets a little kick around the corner. It's a hard one to pick up, and it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. Just interested in this ruck work here. The Fish Creek ruckman seems adamant that he just wants to jump all over the Tarwin ruckman, who just seems adamant that he wants to stand there and let him happen. So watch this space. It's been an interesting one. Coming the front spot, gets his hand on it this time. No one's able to get it clear. And this is where we'll see another example of that, I think, Hutchie, where Rhett Wiedemann will just try and jump all over Cummings. And,
it was contrasting styles from the two ruckmen. One's a big-bodied ruckman and one's more mobile. So Cumming takes the front position, gets it out wide onto Mitch Hicks, who gets it onto someone who gets it onto Tommy Cameron, and Tommy Cameron leads out, takes a mark. This time only probably 30 out, 45-degree angle. And if he had the last one in him, this one definitely in him.
Yeah, it's just it's all going in one direction at the moment. It's not pretty for the home side. It's all Fish Creek. Sam will have the stats for us after the break, but the inside 50s will be at least 3-1 Fish Creek's way as Cameron comes in, kick on its way, and he gets into his celebration shortly after it leaves his shoe. And that's another one on the board for Fish Creek, and they're really starting to put some separation on the scoreboard now, Mitchie B.
Yeah, they are. It seems that their midfielders have just been allowed to do whatever they want, and with a midfield as talented as Fish Creek, when that happens, their forwards will just be sitting there laughing. They can lead in any direction, and it seems to be landing on their chest.
Well, they say don't get beaten by what you know, and I think if you're Tarwin coming into this game, McTaggart and Cameron are going to be Fish Creek's two key forwards, and they've got the goals between them, and their strength is the midfield, and that's where they're winning the footy at the minute. So
there's a bit of a ruck rotation now. McTaggart's come into the centre, and Wiedemann's gone forward.
Jordan Staley,
yep.
So Garnham sharks it out of the ruck, kicks up to half forward for Tarwin. They need to get something on the board here. They win the ball at half forward, snap to the top of the square, but Taco leads out, the ball gets over the back and goes through for only a minor score. And Fish Creek will get the chance to bring it back in. How long we played this quarter so far, Mitchie B?
Gone on for nearly 15 minutes.
And a laser light pass goes out there to just outside 50 mark, dropped by Fish Creek, and the umpire's pinged him for holding the footy in a pretty hot decision for mine, but nonetheless. So Tarwin will get the chance to re-enter their forward 50. They need the big man down there to stand up and take a clunk. And you're not going to be able to do that when there's 4 or 5 Fish Creek blokes standing in front of you, and Fish Creek just chop it off with ease.
Yeah, Kieran Dooling just chopped it off.
He's expert in being that third man in, and Dooling goes wide, goes to a 2-on-1, ball gets out the back of the contest. It's going to be won at ground level by Tarwin, but it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. And we'll toss this one in around a kick and a half from Tarwin's goal.
Yeah, ball's been camped on the far side, so it's very hard for us to see from where we are. Young umpire's got it in. You got McTaggart versus Staley again. Ball comes in. McTaggart makes room for himself. Gets it up. Yep. Tries to handball it out, and it's got Tarwin have got the ball, kicking it forward down the right half forward flank, and they're now intercepted by Fish Creek, who have now chipped it to. Don't know. Cannot see. And it's a bit of a sling tackle. Has he paid the sling? No, he hasn't. It's a ball up, I think he's paid.
Yeah, we'll toss this one in the air.
Yep, toss it in the air.
So the umpire comes in directly between us and the Bowls Club to toss this one up. The two big ruckmen wrestle each other. McTaggart wins the tap down. They go backwards through the hands. Hayes gets his hands on the footy, comes back to McTaggart. Never handball to the ruckman. Through the weight of numbers they go, and Davis now gets a little kick in there and a nice catch. No, not quite completed at the grass level. Big tackle coming in there from Davis, who followed his kick up. Fish Creek have advanced at about 25 metres, and we'll ball this one up centre wing, far side of the ground. Changes being rung by both sides at the moment, even though the ball's on the other side. So McTaggart and Staley will go at it. McTaggart just gets in front. He's hard to get round. Gets it down to Wiedemann. Wiedemann flicks it over the top. Now the big kick comes into half forward. Ball to be won at ground level. Cameron, a clever little kick off to Smith. Smith can't pick it up cleanly. The umpire's found a free kick.
Kicking in danger, he's paid.
He paid kicking in danger. I like it. They should pay more of that. It's safer. Ball now in the hands there of Benny Allen. The Tarwin skipper. He kicks up to the half forward line. Nice little kick it is too. Finds a teammate there in a little bit of space.
Del Pozzo.
Del Pozzo, he goes around the corner. Puts the teammate under all sorts of pressure. Screams for the handball on the drive-by. Doesn't pick it up cleanly and gets chauffeured over the boundary line for a throw-in in their forward 50. He's been there or thereabouts, Del Pozzo, hasn't he? Just hasn't had that little bit of space that he needs. He's got plenty of company wherever he pops up around the footy. And we toss this one back into play. Staley gets his hands on it first, flicks the handball down. Tarwin probably overusing it in that instance. Maybe a quick shoot at the top of the goal square might have been the way to go. Umpire circles. Umpire circles. Lets them play.
He lets them play.
Interesting enough. And the ball's won by Fish Creek, who hack it up to the centre wing. So we've got the ball into a little bit of space for a moment. 1-on-1 on the boundary line. Boundary line wins, no? And we'll stay in play and we'll toss this one in the air. Just need to be a bit cleaner going into their forward 50, I think, Tarwin. They've had it down there a couple of times, but it's felt rushed every time. So back we go. The umpire will toss it in the air, and they go again to ground level through Allen. He gets it onto the outside of the right shoe. Kick to half forward. No free kick paid. And Fish Creek go away with it up to their half forward line. Smith gets front and centre. Ball avoids him. Really quick hands. Bordering on a throw. Goes out in the direction there of Coates. He can't pick it up cleanly. And the umpire's found a free kick for high contact. And he doesn't pay the advantage this time.
Levi Cox edge.
So he's 60, 70 metres out. Handball on the drive-by. The long kick comes in. The big man McTaggart's down there. He's got 3 or 4 for company. Tarwin will just resurrect the ball.
Through Lucas Harmer.
So Harmer then goes into the back pocket, finds a teammate.
Lockie Jones.
Jones then to Allen. Allen comes up here towards Houston. It goes past him. Picked up down there by no one because you don't have his name on the sheet. Makes it tough. They've got the ball to half forward. Now it's in the hands of Yan. He goes around the corner in the Del Pozzo direction. Mark taken down there by Fish Creek.
Tommy Valenta.
So Valenta comes across on the left shoe. Finds a teammate in space. They go short again. Mitch, can you pick that up around the corner?
Yeah, that's coming out to about the forward 50 for Tarwin in the possession of Gavin Locke. Gavin Locke comes forward right out front of the coach's box and finds Coates.
Coates comes inside to Smith. Good work by you. Smith just stands still and watches everyone run past him. Interesting tactic that. Goes back to the coach. Coach's kick smother. Goes back to Coates. Back to Smith. Smith loses his shoe. Allen wins it at ground level. Comes back to Garnham, who's put under pressure by McGannon. Back to Allen again. They're doing it in stages here. Lama with it now. Goes down the line. Gets out the back of the contest.
It's going to be Jared Walker who's going to rebound for Fish Creek. Comes forward. Mark spilled that should have been taken. Tackles on a plenty. Ball comes into the middle. Not going to be paid 15. big tackle. He's holding him in the air there rather than bringing him to ground, which is probably a clever tactic. And we're going to get a stoppage for the umpire to bowl it up. Just outside the centre square on the broadcast side wing. Probably favouring Tarwin's end just slightly.
So, Hutchie, over to you.
Umpire Steve just throws it up. Cummings back on the ground, taps it forward. Luke Williams has got hold of it. And the umpire said, I'll have it, thank you again. So it seems to be the trend. They seem to be getting first use out of the ruck. So we've got Cumming again in the ruck. Rhett Weaverman's back as well. Cummings wins the tap, gets it down to Blaine Coates, who gets it out. And I've lost sack because it's around the corner. I can't see around on the boundary.
It's going to come off Jordan Staley, come off his boot. So thankfully we're not in the AFL. No lasso free kick here. So the young fella's going to chuck it back in. Back to the starting ruck matchup. Tossed in a little short, Cumming able to take it out of the ruck, finds a teammate who smashes it forward but only gets it about 5 metres. Handball out wide toward the boundary. Numbers are plenty for both sides here, but seems very congested and a big tackle. He's spun him round 2 or 3 times, but taken him down safely enough for the umpire to just call a ball up.
It was Yan that won that stoppage. He's done plenty of work with the footy, but he does everything under pressure at the moment.
So Hayes in the ruck, he manages to break even in the contest and get the clearing kick to a teammate in Brady Mitchell, who's pushed quite far up the ground here. Just patting the dog, slowing it down a little bit. Understands that the scoreboard might be Fish Creek's way, but the contest is very even.
So he goes long down the line in the Rhett Wiedemann direction. Jacko Wiedemann, the bro, gets in there, can't complete the mark. Ball's flicked forward, comes off the boot of a Tarwin player, trickles over the boundary line for a throw-in right next to the Fish Creek coach's box. And they take this opportunity to switch a few players on and off as to Tarwin, and it's Garnham coming back on. He's had plenty of it early doors for the home side. So the 2 big boys do the ruck. That's got to be a shove. That's not a shove. Play on, they say. And it's won at ground level by Williams. His handball goes only as far as Allen. Allen kicks it away to half forward.
Oh.
Bang! Mark not completed down there by the coach. That would have been huge. Ball to be won at ground level, and the umpire's found a free kick. And that free kick will go to Tarwin. It'll be
Kellen McLeod.
McLeod kicks up to the goal square. A little bit wide, a little bit far, and a little bit how you're going.
It's a little
behind post. And the question now is whether it hit it on the full or not. No, it hasn't hit it on the full. The young fella's going to flick it back into play. So we'll toss this one in about 4 metres around from the Tarwin goal. Could they do with one? Could they what? Ball's there at ground level to be won. Fish Creek get the hands on it, flick a handball forward. Then a little hack kick forward. It's as good as a pass because it hits Fish Creek teammate on the chest. Rolls over the boundary line. They've gained 60-odd metres, and the urgency's over for Fish Creek for the moment. And we'll toss this one in 55 around from the Tarwin goal.
Yep, so interesting before. There's a bit of umpire contact. The umpire's whistle fell on the ground and he couldn't blow it, and it was called play on. But anyway, he's found it. Ball gets thrown back in by the boundary umpire. Cumming takes on Rhett Wiedemann. Cumming wins the tap again. Gets it on to Garnham. Garnham kicks long deep into the forward block. And the umpire's pulled out a free kick against Jack.
It's going to go against Hayes there.
Yeah, against Jack
Hayes.
Hayes.
Of grabbing. It was probably going both ways, but he's managed to pluck one.
He's paid. Yeah, he's just
pluck one Tarwin's favour, and it's going to go to Troy
Harley. Straight in front, top of the square, straight in front.
Waste no time. He's got back to his mark and then just taken off as soon as he could and manages to put it through the big sticks for Tarwin's first of the day.
Yeah, that's well done. I think what we might find is that as the game opens up again, I think Tarwin and Len will come into it. While it's a contested contest, Fish Creek are going to have it on their terms. But once the game opens up, and the last time I saw them when they played Yanar, they started to open the game up as it went. So this could be a good sign for Tarwin. They're just starting to get their hands on it. Big Cumming in the ruck, starting to do a terrific job. So we'll just see how they go.
It's taken them 24 minutes to get there first, but they've got it. What's the scores, Mitchie B?
We're reading 5-1-31 to Fish Creek, playing 1 goal 2-8, the home side Tarwin.
So back in the middle we go. The A-graders for both sides are in there, ready to get things underway. Wiedemann gets a tap down, snatched there at ground level by Garnham. He's been really good, but his kicking's probably been under that much pressure. He hasn't been able to find a target as much as he would have liked, and he's turned that one over as well on the far side of the ground.
Lammers.
So Lammers on the left leg goes up there in the coach direction, but the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. Getting towards siren time. We've had 6 goals kicked this quarter, so there will be a little bit of time on. A late one here to Fish Creek would be really, really important because that'll put a lot of separation on the scoreboard at quarter time. No one able to get it clear initially. Ball there to be won. Fish Creek do it. burst through the tackle, maybe not quite burst through the tackle, and the umpire said you had long enough and you didn't get rid of it. And Garnham will take another kick.
He's starting to get active, young Garnham.
Yeah, we just got to work out who this bloke in 33 is, because he's going to have plenty of the footy as well as the siren sounds to end that first quarter. Mitchie B, quick score check.
Quarter time score reads 1-2 Tarwin and 5-1 for Fish Creek, so 8-31.
8-31 after a first quarter that saw Fish Creek jump out of the blocks and kick the first couple. We'll head back to the studio now to Greg King for a few sponsors' messages, and we'll be back to wrap things up in just a couple of moments' time. And welcome back to Tarwin, where at quarter time, it's Fish Creek, the visitors, doing it pretty comfortably there, 3 or 4 goals in front. After a frenetic first quarter, they slammed on 5 of the best, and Tarwin just managed 1 late goal there to keep themselves within touch on the scoreboard. It felt to me, Hutchie, like Tarwin chased most of that quarter and that Fish Creek had the dominance. Let's see what Statsman Sam's stats say about that.
All right, centre clearance is Tarwin 3. Fish Creek 6. Here's the coach killer. Inside 50s for Fish Creek is 14, and Tarwin was 12. And viewers, if you had a screen to watch the game, the ball was going in and then it was ping-ponging back out. A bit of Commonwealth games there. Contested possessions 33 up against 40 in favour of Fish Creek. Uncontested 25 for Tarwin and 34 for Fish Creek, but a lot of Tarwin's uncontested possessions come, some 7 from free kicks and some from poor disposal into their forward 50.
Yes, as suspected, it was definitely the centre clearance dominance that we saw during that quarter that led to Fish Creek getting those easy opportunities on goal. When you think about how they went about them, kick mark goal, Hutchie, it's far easier to do that out of the centre when there's only 6 on 6 down there. And then the way that Tarwin had to take it forward was much more volatile, much more ballistic type of ball movement, whereas Fish Creek straight out of the middle, straight into the hands of McTaggart and Cameron.
Yeah, they went pretty well direct, didn't they? And the stats sort of back up what's really probably starting to pan out in the game there. Fish Creek have got a lot more possession, and when they're using it a little bit better, Tarwin seem to be sort of under pressure, and their kicks aren't as direct, and they're sort of trying to work it out as hard. It's harder for Tarwin to get it into the deep into their forward line than it is for Fishy at the moment, and that's mainly through your midfield, and that's where Fishy seem to be winning it at the moment.
So, Mitch, you've had a good look at the first quarter. What do you do if you're the Tarwin coach? How do you get back in the contest? You're 4 goals down. What do you have to do?
I think as a Tarwin coach, I'd be pretty happy with the pressure that the forwards are providing, but I think the backs need to do a better job of shutting down their two key scorers in McTaggart and Cameron. They're both obviously known to be class players, and it seems like they've just been able to get away pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're definitely, as I said in that first quarter, they don't get beaten by what you know, and everyone in the comp knows that you can't let Cameron and McTaggart have a step because they're just so good with the shots on goal, and they're pretty hard to beat in the marking contest. 2 different styles of mark, but Big Will gets his big dukes around the footy. You wouldn't be able to punch that out with a sledgehammer, I wouldn't think, Hutchie.
No, he seems to know how to use that big body of his as well, and he sort of seems to create space for where the drop zone is, and even on the lead, I'm actually quite surprised. He made space on the lead, which was really, really worrying sign. If you can't beat him, you've got to find a way to beat him, and he seems to be winning on both ways, bodying and on the lead. So hopefully there's some changes done. We'll just have a bit of a check-up. I think what's going on down there, McCall's going back onto McTaggart now, I think.
Well, I can confirm the middles as they started for both sides. So, obviously, as Sam said, with the inside 50s being 12-14, they've had their share of the footy forward, and they just haven't had it as clean as what Fish Creek have. So, both sides going back to their A grade in the middle of the ground there, and it looks like it's going to be Garnham having some company this quarter as Mitch Hicks saddles up next to him, and Hicks probably doesn't get the kudos of the Wiedemans and the Williams through there, and even Brady Mitchell when he runs through there, but he does a job every week, Hutchie. You'd love him in your side.
Oh, you would. He's just unheralded. He's just as hard as a cat's head. Him and Luke Williams, imagine having both them in the same side. Imagine they'd probably run into each other.
So here we go. We'll get things underway here in the second quarter. The 2 big boys will go at it. Rhett Wiedemann gets up and gets his hand on it. Comes down to exactly our man. He gets his hands on it with Garnham. Wrestles clear, but he's wrapped up in a secondary tackle, and we'll have a secondary ball up still inside the centre circle, basically. So they go at it again, this time with no line to keep them separate. Wiedemann gets it into a little bit of space. Garnham will be first there, coming off the half-back line with plenty of ticker there, Tarwin.
Lockie Jones.
Ground level Lockie Jones. That's what you want the coach doing, showing you how it's done. And Garnham gets over to him and drags him back to his feet and says, "Good work, coach. Now go and find your opponent and get back on him."
Looks a little bit worse for wear here, Lockie Jones, hobbling a little bit.
So Wiedemann wins a tap down again, goes backwards to go forwards. And the umpire looked to pay a free kick there, and he has for high contact.
Yep.
So Fish Creek will get the first inside 50 of the second term.
And you'll never guess who's managed to get the footy in their hands.
Well, it'll be one of the Wiedemans, because that's
Definitely
what it always
right.
is. It'll be Rhett this time, I would suggest.
It certainly doesn't look like
kicking,
passing.
Yeah, he'd be kicking from just outside 50, directly in front.
A lot of movement here for the Fish Creek forwards, though. Massive lead here that's completely ignored. He has got coming on the mark, so it's not going to be an easy task getting it over him, as well as probably the 55 required. But he's coming in. He's going to kick from virtually inside the centre square. He's got that long left foot. It's gone a long way, and it's gone through. Massive, massive goal here with inside the first minute or so for Fish Creek here, and it's that man again, Rhett Wiedemann.
And I'll tell you what, sometimes, Hutch, and I've said this before on air and I'll say it again, you can look at the umpire and you can wait and see what the umpire does, or you can look at the bloke who's kicked the footy. Rhett just went down to his sock then, put the mouth guard in, popped it in and put one hand in the air like John O'Brien and trotted back to the centre circle. He knew exactly from the instant he kicked it, that was going through the big sticks.
Yeah, no, he's one heck of a player. Umpire McCoy comes in again. He's just about to throw it up. Coming v. Wiedemann. Ball goes up. Oh, Wiedemann wins the tap again. There's once again a secondary ball up. And umpire McCoy comes in.
Now, cogitate on this for a second. I've spoken before about this. If the ball doesn't leave the centre circle, why not go back to just 4-on-4 and get everyone else out of the square? Keep that space for what it was intended for. Nonetheless, Davis now gets his ball at half forward, kicks it up there for Fish Creek, but the mark's taken down there in defence by another bloke whose number has changed, so no kudos for you, young man. So Tarwin will own possession of the footy on the half-back line here. Yanami forced to kick long down the line. Houston offers up a lead. It goes over his head, gets out the back towards Williams. He can't take it cleanly. Hayes gets in, brushes off a tackle, flicks a handball out. Boundary line will be a win, but it doesn't quite get there.
It does just go over.
And now it does.
Good effort there from Jack Davis trying to keep it in. He held his right arm out trying to keep the ball in because he was often free if he had kept it in, but young boundary umpire said not today.
So we'll toss this one back in right in front of the Fish Creek coach's box. 4 or 5 minutes played here in the second terms. Fish Creek by about 5 goals. Ball there at ground level to be one. Wiedemann goes in, leaves it behind. Williams comes out, flicks a handball back towards Davis. He can't take it cleanly. Williams gets in there. Now it's Lammers who flicks a handball forward. It's a hot footy. Goes in head first and doesn't get the free kick, which I don't mind when you use your head as a battering ram. You probably shouldn't get rewarded, but gee, it looked nasty.
Seemed to have worked as well because Cummings actually grabbed at his thigh there, the one that made contact with his head. So
He's giving him the world's biggest corky, you reckon, Mitch?
quite possibly.
So up the ruck work we do. Cummins just says, get out of the way, and they get speed! It's WWE style there. Tarwin have won the ball at ground level, and they go through the middle of the ground. Now they're running into their forward 50. The kick comes in. Marks on. Can't be taken. 25 out ground level. Ball to be won. Fish Creek win it. Pop a handball into space. No one there to take it. Now it's Tarwin, snap around the corner. Hutchie, what can you see?
Yes, so Mackenzie snaps around the corner with his left foot. He's hit Garnham. Garnham's gone back in short, it's gone over the head, and then it's gone back to Kyle Yarn. And he has put it through. So that was probably the best, right from the centre circle, that was probably the best bit of play that Tarwin have come up with for the game so far. So very sharp ball movement, a little bit of a kick over the head, but anyway, they cleaned it all up and scored a goal. So,
yeah, very, very good tackling there from Hicksy. It seemed like he got a bit of revenge after that head knock. Saw the biggest bloke on the field for Tarwin and decided to just spear him. Definitely WWE style there. A little side note as well, I want to give a big shout out to Nick McKenzie, Year 12 Health and Human Development teacher there. Sort of forgot he played down this way, so good to see him getting involved in the play and setting up a goal running through the middle there.
Obviously passed if you're still sucking up to him. Back in the middle we go. Wiedemann gets a tap down this time. Williams can't take it cleanly. Jacko Wiedemann gets in there on all fours. Another big tackle laid. Oh, it's like Goldberg, wasn't it? That was awesome, that spear tackle. Oh, wow. Anyway, we'll be watching that on replay a few times. Still stuck in the middle. What do you reckon, Hutch? You get them all out of the square and just let it 4-on-4 or not?
You're asking for a big change there. Wiedemann gets it down. Luke Williams, look at him go. He gets it in and out, under and out, and he's got it out onto the wing now. That's on to Lammers. Lammers goes back to Williams. Williams then moves it on to
Gavin Locke.
Gavin Locke, who's then gone, and out of sight. The rest is back to you guys.
Cameron's taken off here. He slapped the ball forward, still in for Fish Creek. Ball comes back in off a handball, looking for someone in the middle. Cleared out by Tarwin, and the Tarwin player and Nick McKenzie's just going to see it over the boundary line and look for a tactical reset here. Young fella's got a bit of a mission to get the ball. Went just under the fence, but he's managed to do it pretty quickly.
The boundary umpire didn't leave the field, did he?
No.
He got sacked.
Reached just under.
Fair enough.
Stayed inside the field to play.
All right, so they'll toss this one back in just outside the forward 50. And a lovely little flick it is. Sharked out of the ruck by the big man. He kicks to the top of the square. Bounces through, minor score only. And I'll tell you what, I would have taken the roof off if that had gone through. Hutch, that was my man McTaggart snapping from 55 out of the ruck.
Goal umpires actually said it's hit the boundary post on the bounce. So we're going to get a ball up right on the point post here in Fish Creek's forward 50.
Oh, that's a better result for them. McTaggart can do it all over again. He gets in the ruck. This time he doesn't try and shark it. It's grabbed there by Tarwin.
Staley, yep.
And they now quick little snap around the corner after Staley's kick.
By Cox Edge, and it's gone through for behind. Oh, hit the post. Hit the post.
So that's our first doink of the day. And Tarwin will bring it back into play. They've got to get the ball at the other end, Mitch. They've just got to get it down there and score.
Yep. Lockie Jones has just chipped up, hit the other big ruckman. No, it's gone back now. Switched to cross play. Tarwin switched cross play. Oh, it's hit the ground. There's a bit of pressure on. Tackle. Fish Creek have got hold of it. Handball back out to Hicks. No, Wiedemann. Wiedemann's out to Harrison Smith, who's out another handball, who's out eventually about 4 handballs in a row, end up with Luke Williams, who sprayed it across out on the full, and that's going to roll down to the Tarwin Lower Hotel. That's how far out that's gone. So there'll be a number of seconds waiting for that ball to come back.
Yeah, it's been paid out on the full, so Staley's going to take the relieving kick, and game's probably turned the way that Fish Creek were sort of hoping for, where it's a bit more free-flowing, but the second it has, Fish Creek have just been able to lock it forward.
So Staley thumps it in as long as his leg will take it to about 70 from goal. A little bit of a push in the back there. The umpire saw what I saw.
Yep.
And Tarwin will take the free kick on the half-back flank.
Big ruckman Cummings.
So Cummins now gets the ball. He looks to come inside and then changes his mind and kicks about a little 5-iron down the line to the leading target. Mark taken there on the chest. And off they go there through Harley. Harley reels, kicks in the forward 50. Garnham's got out the back on his own. Clever. Fox to take the mark initially. Sucked the defender into jumping and then realised the ball wasn't there yet. And then Garnham takes an easy mark, 40, 45 metres out on a slight angle. He's done it all today for Tarwin, except kick a goal. And let's see if he can change that, because ever a side needed one, it's now. Plays on, kicks long, kicks strong, gets into celebration mode nice and early, and that is a good finish from the little man. Good football there from Tarwin. They've done it in patches. When they get their hands on it, they're competitive, they're good enough. They've just got to do more of it.
Yeah, once again, their ball movement's just starting to roll now, Tarwin. It's just starting to, I think that went end-to-end without a Fish Creek player touching it. So, yeah, that was the best, another play of the day. Have we got a trophy award for that?
They get a firm handshake and a pat on the back.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, that's a good bit of footy there from the back line. And Harley really presented strong up on the stickers there on the wing and took the mark and reeled straight away and left Garnham in that space that he needed. He's been good down there, set up the previous goal and then kicked that one. Probably not surprised to see him pop up in the middle here as well, but doesn't look like it just as yet. Wiedemann tap, goes down to Williams. Williams hacks it off the ground, goes in the Cameron direction. Cameron gets there. Jack Wiedemann's down there keeping him company. Good luck playing on Jack Wiedemann when he rests in the forward pocket too. You can have that job to yourself.
Yeah, ball rolls out for a boundary throw in.
So we'll toss this one in about 45 around from at the Fish Creek goal. McTaggart comes out to do the ruck work. This is where he just tries to grab it, the big fella, and snap it. So we'll see if he goes into that mode. Ball's going to land short of him, land short of both ruckmen. He gets a little handball off there to the drive-by.
I reckon that's Hicks.
And the snap from Hicks goes out of bounds on the full. I reckon that might be the third, if not fourth, out of bounds on the full at that end today.
Yeah, on the right-hand side. So I reckon there's perhaps a little bit of wind at play down that way.
Righto, Mitch, probably got the best view here.
Ball's just been thrown back over by a spectator. It looks like it's going to be going to... struggling to see the number, but it might be the same again in Lockie Jones. Pointing down the line, and he's just going to go for it and thump it. That is a massive kick. That's the best part again. Of 55, 60 metres. Coming through, was unable to take the grab. Ball flick forward here for Tarwin. They've got their fast movers on the footy, but they can't get anything clean. The Fish Creek pressure is just immense, and they've been able to stop the counter-attack as quickly as it started. And we're going to get a stoppage on centre wing on the far side.
It's a good play by them, though. If they keep doing more of that big long kick down of the big boys on the wing and set up from there. Ball goes up, ball comes down. Ball goes back to umpire, I would suggest, and that's exactly what happens. Good tackle there by Hetherington for Tarwin. Stops Fish Creek breaking free. So up it goes again. Cummins gets a tap on it, but a secondary fist comes in and heads it in the Fish Creek direction. Smith darts in with his long sleeves, can't take it. Yan picks up, turns the footy over to Wiedemann. Wiedemann on the run from 55. Skinny side, minor score only. Gee, that would have been something special if he had slotted that one. Probably just almost come to expect it from him. He's that good, but only a minor score, which, Mitch, you're writing down, I'm sure, because we need to keep track of that.
Staley runs out of the square, plays on handballs to just about doing a hamstring, trying to lean around there.
Handball went up, and they almost went for a marking contest, the pair of them, and it's been centred in for Fish Creek. Plays on. Oh, no, he's dropped it. Jacob Lammers had a chance for running into an open goal, and it's turned over, and Tarwin can go the other way.
So Williams gets it there, and he goes wide, finds Patako. Two of their better players. Patako goes short again.
Garnham.
Another mark taken on the far side. That's probably their best three. Garnham comes through the middle. Hayes says, not on my watch. Double fist. Gets a handball off. Gets a handball back to Hayes. Stabs it into the forward line. Puts it straight down his opponent's throat. And Tarwin again will look to set up their offence from the back half and do so as they mark on the half-back flank.
Pressure's on here. He's almost gone out of bounds, and a diving, smothering effort from the Fish Creek player is going to see the ball out of bounds. Waiting for him to turn around so I can see the number and confirm who it was, but that was a great effort. Looks like it's going to be Jack Wiedemann there.
What a surprise. So ruck work gets done, gets out the back of the contest. Ball's coming to us here in the commentary box. No one's able to take it cleanly. Battle out there. Jared Walker sees it over the boundary line for another throw in. They've stemmed the scoring, if nothing else, this quarter, Hutch, the Tarwin boys, and they've kicked a couple. So
Yeah, and I think they're just, as the game opens up, I think they'll get better and better. And that's what we've seen in a couple of their games when they played Yanar.
So they win the stoppage here at ground level, Fish Creek, and they just hack the ball forward off the ground, hoping for the best.
Wiedemann went in again. So that's some very good follow-up work from the ruckman there. He jumped up, won the stoppage himself, and then won the clearance himself on ground level. So it's great to have a ruckman with that much agility.
Just get used to it, mate. It's what he does. Cummins gets a tap down. Lammers grabs it, wrapped up in a tackle by Williams, and the umpire says, give it to me. Thought there might have been a little bit of tried to get away from him there, but the umpire disagrees. And we'll toss this one up just in front of the Fish Creek coaches box. How long gone this quarter, Mitch?
So far, we've got 12 minutes gone.
12 minutes gone. Ball comes down. Both ruckmen go out of the ground level. Fish Creek win it. Lammers goes backwards via the hands. Brady Mitchell comes bursting through, says, get out of the way. Wins the footy for Fish Creek. They hack it forward.
Candy sold, but it was smothered in the handball and it's been taken out of bounds. Yet again, Jack Wiedemann. So the Wiedemann boys putting on some real pressure in the midfield here. One the ruckman, one the midfielder, but both doing the same job. And the boundary umpires had a bit of a mistake there. He's managed to throw the ball forwards instead of backwards, so we're going to get a take 2 of that one.
So in it comes, decent flick on it this time. Garnham at ground level. Handball goes up. He gets held on to after he disposed of it, according to the umpire. And they'll take the free kick. And the umpire says, you're not taking advantage. Go back behind your mark, which gives Fish Creek the chance to set up. And have a look at them get back there, the Fish Creek boys. On the toe. They set up a little zone here, about 30 metres behind. And that stretches all the way back to the defensive area. It's interesting here. They're just marking a bit of space. There's a few little gaps that can open up if you look for a little 30-metre pass, but they ignore that. Going to come longer down the line.
Great
for
diving
Harley.
Smother there. Great diving smother. It was Harley who'd come off the bench, and it's Jacob Lammers playing on the wing who's come across and just made a diving low-level spoil. Got it at about knee height.
So a bit of a stalemate here. Next goal really important for a number of reasons. Tarwin winning out of the ruck and hack it forward. Pitts on its edge. Bad bounce. Tarwin to the advantage here. It's Del Pozzo. Gives a handball. Ball out in front there. B1 at ground level. Back to Del Pozzo. And he bursts into the open goal and goes bang! And that's the one they needed.
That's the one. That was all. Staley started that in the ruck. Pulled it out of the ruck on the full. Hacked it forward. And then all of a sudden chaos ensued. And Tarwin ran onto it. And, yeah, beautiful ball movement. They're just starting to build, aren't they?
Yeah, that's their third goal for the quarter there. So they've definitely turned the game on its head here. They were getting dominated out of the middle. They arguably still are. Williams is holding his own in the ruck, but Cummings, goodness me. He's holding his own in the ruck, and they're able to counter-attack pretty well, as evident by that.
So the big boys from down back come up into the ruck. It's got Staley v. McTaggart. Umpire walks in, hoists it high, and McTaggart's knocked it down to the advantage of Tarwin. Johan gets onto it, kicks it forward into side 50, onto, and then who's that? Can't even see. Ben Allen get hold of it. Oh, he's got slung. Has he paid the sling? No, he hasn't. What has he paid? He's paid downfield.
He's paid a 50-metre there. It seemed like the Tarwin player in Del Pozzo was trying to get out of the way. And we got a bit of a dust-up coming on in the middle here.
Staley and Luke Williams.
I reckon there's another 50.
Yeah, it's turned into 100 here.
So is that Davis that's taken the ball on the half back, and he's just been the beneficiary of 100? Yeah, is that 150 or is it 100? Because he's basically taken him 2/3 of the ground.
That is a very, very long 100-metre penalty.
And is it Davis?
It is
Davis. He's gone to the goal square, so...
That's a triple.
It has to be, because either that or their maths out.
And he
Strohs in, kicks the goal. Umpire says all clear, 6 point up.
So just when Tarwin looked like they got the game back on their terms a little bit, Fish Creek have been the beneficiary of either a massive 100-metre penalty or a triple 50, and they've been able to get swing momentum back towards them. They've kicked their second of the quarter.
And if it is a triple 50, a shout out, of course, to Steve Essler, who's here today. Steve loves his triple 50s. So back in the middle we go. You reckon he's got the radio on, Hutch?
No, he's only here as an advisor today.
I thought he might have the radio on listening in. He's good value. Umpire Essler. Back in the middle we go, and you're on the money there, Mitch. All that momentum that they've worked and earned, just given up. with a free kick and 350s. And we go back in the middle again. Big Willie Mack. Doesn't get his hands on it. Harley does. And they get it through Yarn. He comes to Garnham. Yarn and Garnham. They've had it waxing it. They come off the half-back line now as well.
O'Loughlin.
And that's O'Loughlin. Ricky O kicks down to the half-forward line. They're looking for Brody Senior Gibson. And the boundary line's the winner in that argument.
Seems like the ruck battle swapped positions here. So when Wiedemann's in the ruck, he's the one doing the jumping, and Will Cumming is the one that's just standing there. But it seems to have swapped this time. When the backup rucks come in, it's McTaggart that stands there, and Staley who's going to be the jumping.
Umpire holds the ball up again. Hang on a minute. He wants some people outside the fence again. He stopped the play. Boundary umpire throws it in. McTaggart front spot, thumps it. Must have bounced before the line, otherwise that'll be on the full. And second boundary umpire comes in to throw it in again.
I reckon he tried to hurt that ball.
Yeah, I reckon he tried to pop it. So Staley and McTaggart line up again, metre apart. The umpire says, boundary umpire throws it in. Staley front foot, but just pushed off the ball by McTaggart. He gets the handball on to Williams. Williams then handballs it on again, and it's intercepted by Tarwin, and we're going to get a stoppage again with the ball up. Umpire comes in and said, "I'll have it. Thank you."
We've gone about 18 minutes so far in this quarter. 3-2 to the home side, but scoreboard's still not getting back to where Tarwin would want it.
So the ball goes up, ball comes down, no one able to win at the ground level. Now Tarwin, snap around the corner, one-handed. I would have thought you'd go with two from there. Fish Creek win it. They win through the middle of the ground and kick in the direction of Cameron, who has the ball fisted away from him. Boundary line going to win the contest, Mitch?
Boundary line does indeed win the contest. Massive run-down tackle. There was a Shepherd laid, but he managed
and he's
to
played
get
holding
through
the ball.
He has played holding the ball. And that's Jacko Wiedemann again with another forward 50 tackle. He's directing traffic forward. Looks like he wants a shot. He's pointing everyone back to the goal line. Just get there in case I can't kick the distance. He's even gone out of my view. He takes the short option now and finds a mark.
With Luke Williams.
Similar distance, but much easier angle to kick from. He's going to go back on about a 45, 50 degree angle, Luke Williams.
How far out?
About 45, 50 out. Probably leaning more towards 45. Massive kick in the context of the game. Tarwin started off this quarter really well. He's come in and put it across the face, and we're not going to get a score. Intercept mark taken right.
By Staley.
Right down there. Kicking in from where he's been taking the out on the fulls. The few that have gone out this side, out that side. And he's gone with another one of those 55, 60 metre long kicks down the line. That might work for Tarwin. They've got it over the back here. He's taken off and he's shinned it straight to the middle of the ground, and Fish Creek have the numbers. They try to get it out wide. Another shin. Wiedemann in there. Smith gets the space. He's thumped it long. Possibly a holding free kick there. The umpires put the whistle away for a moment. Comes back into the centre square, and Smith is taken in a massive tackle, but he's been given the high free kick here. Harrison Smith in the long sleeve. He's got the 50. No, he hasn't.
It's a high fend off. So the free kick will go the way of Tarwin, and that'll be Yan who takes it on the half-back line. He goes far side of the ground, and they load up again and come down to half-forward. Getting in the way, though, is Hayes. Here, the long sleeves, just lopes along, gets his hands on the footy, marks it there in front of the booth, and just settles things down here a little bit. They've set up to come across the ground, and that's exactly what Hayes does. He goes backwards by 30 or 40 metres, but it opens up this side of the ground, and now they use that space, and it'll end up in the hands of
Davis.
Davis has got an option on short in front of him here. Mark taken down there by Gavin Locke. They need to keep moving it quickly, or they're just wasting moving the ball laterally. The big lead comes out there. Mark not completed by Williams. Ball at ground level to be one.
He's managed to win himself a free kick for high contact, and he's just shoved his opponent out of the way there in Lockie Jones, the coach. Plays on, goes to the pocket, but an intercept mark taken. And Tarwin looked to go quick, but he's actually put it on the side of his boot there, Lamas by the look of it, and he's put it out on the full. Matt Williams stands the mark. I can't see who's got the footy. Wait for him to turn his back so I can get his number, but he's slowing it down here, giving a chance for Fish Creek to set up, and that's going to be Jack Davis. So he's had a lot of the footy this quarter. Runs around, gets some space, puts it into a dangerous spot. Ball hits the deck. Smith beats one, gets the handball off, but unable to be taken cleanly. Stacks on the mill, we're going to get a stoppage inside 50. Or is it a free kick? Because players look to be running away from the footy here.
No, I think that's the player that's running away is.
Do get the ball up. McTaggart in the ruck, unable to take it out cleanly. Good follow-up work from the Fish Creek midfielders, and one of them's got a bit of a hobble on after that. We're going to get a stoppage, but I'll keep an eye on that player who seems to be walking away a little bit uncomfortable. It's going
I wonder if McTaggart didn't break that ball before, because the footy's been bloody awful since he punched it. Now it's out at ground level to be 1-1 and get it clear again. We'll have about a fifth stoppage in a row. And the smart money goes on a free kick here. The smart money goes on a free kick to the defence, because the umpires will get sick of tossing this in the air. Up and down she goes. McTaggart gets his hands on it. Harrison Smith does the drive-by. It wasn't given to him. Was handed over there, though, to Williams. He snaps around the corner.
And he's kicked it behind this time.
And it was
Very
Brody
close.
Mitchell rather than Williams. It was 8, not 9. They are getting closer. They've gone from out of bounds to a behind.
And he was the one who actually walked away from that stoppage. Holden looking a bit uncomfortable there, but when he got the footy in his hands, everything seemed to disappear. He had some space and seemed pretty comfortable to take on the shot.
Yeah, unless his leg's broken, he's not coming off. He can rest assured there. They go in short, Tarwin. Mark taken by Garnham, who's been everywhere this quarter. He rolls onto his right leg, comes out here in the direction of...
Coming out in the direction of the guy we haven't got the number of.
Fair
He
enough.
goes inboard, not 15, is it? He
Mark's
has paid
paid.
it. And 50.
And 50.
So another huge penalty to pay here. He's going to want to hurry, Hazy. He's looking like he's in the protected space, gets out just in time, and it's going to be Ben Allen who's advanced 50 metres forward.
And he laces out a nice little pass there and finds a leading forward. Mark taken just inside 50. And a good mark it was too by Batako. So he'll go back. This is a really important shot here, because after some pretty ordinary footy from both sides, they've moved the ball cleanly and taken that mark inside 50. Really need to go back and close the gap on the scoreboard as we get towards half-time. So Batako is going to take his best, you would suggest. He kicks from right on the 50 as he lets fly. He runs around and steals a couple of yards, kick on its way. Gets into the celebration stride and jogs off back to the middle of the ground saying, "How's that, boys? Have a look at me."
He's mimicked his Tommy Cameron goal. They're the same thing. They just play onto the right-hand side, just get a little bit more pace up and a little bit more distance in their kick, and they make it. It's a very good goal, very good goal.
That's Tarwin's fourth goal of the quarter, so they're definitely putting some scoreboard pressure back on Fish Creek. The contest is still just as fierce, but Tarwin seemed to be able to get the ball out and counter-attack really quickly. It seems like they're content with letting Fish Creek's midfield control it a bit more. We've score reading 5 goals 2, 32 for the home side, and 7 goals 4, 46. So a 14-point margin with 25 minutes played.
So Siren imminent as Rhett Wiedemann gets his hands on it, gets it down there, and they win the ball forward. Wiedemann now looks to run onto it, but he's beaten to the footy. You don't hear that too often. Strong smother there by Smith. Ball hack forward by Tarwin. Comes out the back there towards Hayes. Hayes gets a handball off to a teammate who overshoots his kick, and the mark taken down there by Riccio in defence. And he'll just settle things down here for Tarwin. I think they'd be happy with no more score this quarter. But obviously they'd be happier if they managed to snag one themselves. But if you turn the ball over there, you run the risk of coughing it up. Smith will kick it back into the forward 50. McTaggart from 3 deep. Flies. Gets the ball at ground level. Handball comes out to Bright. He rocks. He rolls. He reels. He snaps around the corner. Minor score only.
That's the fourth behind for Fish Creek, so they're definitely getting... Fourth behind at the quarter, I should say. So they're definitely getting some opportunities, but don't seem to be using them as well as what Tarwin is, given they've kicked 4 straight.
So we'll bring it back into play here, and it looks to me like Lockie Jones is going to go down there and do that handiwork again. And I reckon he'd love a short one just to kill 10, 15 seconds off the clock here.
Plays on.
So he plays on, now goes as long as he can. Out in the Harley direction, he gets up from 3 deep, brings the ball to ground. There's a contest at ground level. Tarwin win it, flick the handball forward. A nice little bit of Harlem Globetrotters style tap on play here. And they're into a little bit of space. Can they get a mark in their forward 50 and set something up? No, they can't, because they turn it over in the middle of the ground. And now she stacks on the mill as the siren sounds to end what is a fascinating first half of footy. Mitchie B, if you can give us the scores, please.
So scoreboard's going to read 5 goals 2, 32 for the home side, 7 goals 5, so 43 for Fish Creek, leading by 11 points.
And Hutchie, a fascinating second quarter that saw the ebbs and flows of the game there. It looked like Fish Creek were going to run away with it when they kicked the first goal inside of a minute again, but then Tarwin really got themselves back into the contest, fought hard, came back into it on the scoreboard, and then that 150-metre penalty and goal just seemed to take a little bit of the jam out of their donut.
Yeah, no, that was so. There was a very, very much improved quarter by Tarwin. Their ball use is just starting to improve. I think sort of Fish Creek seemed to be just relying on their guns, just bullocking it forward and creating opportunities, whereas Tarwin really need to be really get together and really gel really well to get that ball movement going. And that's the only time they've seemed to have scored is when they got their ball movement going. So I think that they'll have to come out and work out how to do that, to get hold of the footy, take the pressure off the ball carrier, and use it as wisely as possible.
And we've got Stats Man Sam to come in and give us all the action from the second quarter and see whether or not the data validates your assessments.
All right, tackles 12 Tarwin, Fish Creek 14, free kicks 18. Now, listeners, if you're wondering why they got so high, well, maybe there was a lot of 50 metres and a few kicks out on the full. Centre clearances, Fish Creek 7, inside 50s 19, and I don't think they capitalised on the amount of times they went inside their 50. 38 contested, 35 uncontested. Whereas we flipped the record over the other side, and centre clearance was 5 to Tarwin, 10 inside 50s. I think they got bang for their buck for what they got. And contested possessions 35, uncontested 38, free kicks 8.
And Sam, you've been watching the first half along with us. You haven't been exactly where we've been sitting, so a slightly different perspective. A couple of your better players from either side, if you could.
I think the best player on the ground for Fish Creek is Jack Hayes, because he's been sitting up on the back. And then at the two Wiedemann brothers, Hoy's done some nice business. And for Tarwin, it's their on-ball grade, and the defender number 11 is Will Hetherington. I think he's been their best player so far.
All right, good work by you, Sam, and we'll have you back in here at the end of the third quarter, so you can give us all those third quarter stats. Hutchie, any last thoughts before we throw back to Greg in the studio?
No. I think we've sort of mentioned it. I think it's just the on-ball brigade of Tarwin have just really what brought them back into the game, and their use of it, run on footy, sort of that's what they need. It was, as soon as they turn it over, though, it goes back the other way, and it wasn't for bad kicking. And if you're parked in the right forward pocket down that end, you'd move your car. If Fish Creek were going to continue that, you'll lose a windscreen.
But I'll tell you what else you'd do. You'd be back here after half-time, so I reckon we've got a ripper on our hands here, Hutchie. So back to you in the studio, Greg, and we'll be back on here out here at Tarwin Park in about 10 or 12 minutes. And welcome back to Shark Park, Tarwin, where Fish Creek have just made their way out after half-time. The home side looked to be up against it early doors, but fought back into the contest really well in that second term to get things back on a more even keel, with Fish Creek leading by 15 points at the main break. I think start of the day, Mitch, you suggested that Fish Creek by a goal. Hutchie said Tarwin by a goal. I went Fish Creek by 3 or 4. How are we feeling about those selections now? There's still hope for all of us?
Yeah, well, I think for Tarwin to win, they have to really get hold of that footy and maintain it. As soon as they lose possession, it just goes down the other end at a rate of knots. And it probably was a little bit of luck involved that Fishy didn't kick a couple of those goals straight up and made it a bigger margin. But I still think they're right in it, because I know when I saw them last, they played Yanar here, and they came home with it all through the second half. So I know they're fit enough. They're not a very big, strong, heavy side. So I know they've got plenty of run in them. And I'll still give them a bit of a sniff. And obviously the Premiership quarter's coming in. It'll be interesting to see how Tarwin start, because their midfield are just starting to get in and under and get around. And being the bigger bodies at Fishy, whether they can keep up with them young fellas.
I just wonder if they're lacking a target in the front half, Mitch, and if there's maybe someone out there that they could look to send forward to maybe provide that option in front of the game. I mean, you've got to win it. I think I said at the start of the game, I don't know how they're going to kick the 12 or 14 goals they're going to need. I think they're going to still need 12 or 14 goals, so something's got to give. Can you think of a way or a change in structure personnel that they can sort of achieve that?
I reckon it's got to be Troy Harley that goes forward. He's played a great game up the ground, but I think now Tarwin are going to need to start to roll the dice a little bit. If they're serious about winning this game, they've got to start taking some risks, and I think that Troy Harley will be the man to kick them a winning score, so I think he's got to go down forward.
So if you run with something like that, Hutch, do you make that change now and start your third quarter that way, or do you just hold tight for the first 5 or 8 minutes and try and keep Fish Creek off the scoreboard? Because they have started quickly in the first couple.
We've lost the feed out of there from the boys, so we'll get on just with some more, just a little bit of music in the background while we wait for it to come to be reconnected. So you're listening to Gippsland FM. It's 27 minutes to 4 o'clock. Here's the Black Sorrows.
I think you're right. I see Williams is now starting in the centre square for the.
Lost our feed.
Williams is starting in the centre square for the third quarter.
Yeah, back to it, boys. Go for it. All right, it's coming in and out, so we'll just keep going with a bit of music.
Rightio, just as
we
we're
go.
about to get things underway here, Greg, the ball's about to be tossed in the air to start the third quarter. And it's Wiedemann getting over the top of Cummings and getting it down to our man Williams and Mitchell. They roll on to Jacko Wiedemann. He's wrapped up in a tackle. That's the start the Sharkies needed.
That's Patako coming in off half forward flank, tackled Wiedemann from behind and got him.
So Patako now looks to set them up straight away and get the ball into their forward 50. The kick comes in. It's a good one. The man leads over the shoulder. The umpire says no play on. O'Loughlin picks it up. Little kick goes forward. They get back and take the mark in defence. So Fish Creek, they've been bloody good at that all day. And they continue to be. And it's Dooling who takes that mark. And he goes backwards to Hayes. And they just settle things down. And now they go wide again. Mark taken in front of the light tower, 50 metres out. Good to see Tarwin up and about early doors. That's what the game needs. Fish Creek holding on to possession though, and they come back through the middle now, and they lace out a pass there. Finds Jared Walker, the coach. He dishes a handball off, and they go into attack straight away. The big McTaggart man comes out and pitches in front of him. He can't pick it up cleanly. They flick a handball back to him. You've got to hit him in the guts, not in his ankles. They play on now. Ball comes into the dangerous hot spot. 2-3 deep they fly. No one can take it at ground level. Tackle laid. Snap around the corner.
Still going, and I think it's off Luke Williams originally, and I don't know that someone got a foot on him in the goal square. They're going for a confer. Umpire Steve Smith needs to confer with the goal umpire. Usually in this instant, they take the lesser. Hang on, we're still waiting, conferring, yabbering, conferring again. All clear's been given. Goal, and we think it could possibly be Luke Williams, or is it Coates?
Yeah, big note here for Fish Creek. That's William for Tarwin. Sorry, that's Williams coming off. The first aid officer of Tarwin was chasing him round for probably about 70 odd metres, trying to get a hold of him, but he was not keen to come off. He was sort of hobbling a bit, holding at his ankle, and they've eventually dragged him off, and he doesn't look too happy about it. So hopefully not a worst case scenario for Tarwin there, because he's certainly been one of their better players for the day.
Well, that is the worst case scenario if he's out injured, because they've just coughed up a goal when they should have had one at the other end and lost one of their better players all inside 90 seconds. Wow, blink and you'll miss it. Here we go. Ball back in the middle. 0-0 draw in the ruck. Ground level, Fish Creek win it. Unable to get clear. The umpire will come in and ball this one up. Inside the centre circle again. And Hutchie, you won't jump on board. Get him out of the square. Get him out of the square. Cummings this time does win the tap and it goes forward. No one can take it cleanly initially, and we'll have a tertiary ball up.
No.
Free kick.
Pataka.
Free. Del Pozzo getting
Del Pozzo,
the free
sorry.
kick in the middle. It was a holding on.
So Del Pozzo now thumps it into the forward 50, gets under it a little bit. They get back and play underneath it. Dooling gets it spoiled away from him. Picked up at ground level by Allen. He goes on the outside of his foot. Goal square. Ball bounces, pitches sideways, trickles through for a minor score. It's end-to-end stuff. This is what we want in the third quarter. The sun's out. And Fish Creek now go bang from half back and bring it through the middle of the ground. Mark not taken. Ball pitches at half forward. Tarwin look to get the repeat forward 50. They get their hands into a little bit of space, but the ball's turned over again. Surprise, surprise. Jay Wiedemann, 3 votes. Ball goes long down the line. Pitches at half forward. Tackle laid. Stoppage. Umpire comes in and will ball it up. Gee, she's been hot in the first 90 seconds, Mitch.
Yeah, it really has been great contest work from both sides. Both sides just under so much pressure.
So up and down it goes. Cummings gets a tap towards the boundary. Fish Creek winning at ground level, though. Mitchell gets it onto the left shoe, round the corner. The big boys sit underneath. The big fist comes in, and Tarwin will clear it, and they clear it up to centre wing. And the big fist again over the boundary line into the sea of Fish Creek Kangaroo supporters over there. Haven't they gathered in mass just outside the rooms over there, Hutch?
Yeah, no, that's a big crowd over there. It'd be interesting to see what sort of gate we've had today as the boundary umpire picks the ball up. We've got Cumming and Wiedemann lining up, start a metre apart, thank you. Ball gets thrown in. Wiedemann gets the front position, taps it down, gets it on to Luke Williams. He shows some candy, loses the ball, and he's been pinned for illegal disposal, I do believe. It was...
Dropping the rock.
Dropping the rock, yep. Yep, back a metre, thank you, says the umpire.
So Tarwin now on the half-back flank look to reset. They come through the middle of the ground. A nice little pass in there. And they find their teammate in Yan. Yan's still on the defensive side, but in the middle of the ground. He can go either way. Where's the big lead? He goes short, finds a teammate there in Garnham. Pretty quiet in that second corner, Garnham. Huge in the first. Let's see how he goes in the third. He finds a teammate out on the far side of the ground. Not making up much territory, but they are possessing the footy. And they come back again with another little short pass. The coach this time marks just inside defensive 50. It looks like they want to switch, but no one wants to pull the trigger. Instead, they turn it over on the half-forward flank, and that is ugly with a capital U. Turn it over in the wrong spot. McTaggart launches out and takes a mark, 40 out directly in front. And I don't want to sound like I was born in 1940 and you just got to kick it long all the time, Ken, but you can overdo the short stuff on the half-back flank.
There was 4 or 5 possessions there where they gained a total of about 1.3 metres, and all of a sudden you get a turnover. Smart player like Tommy Cameron laces out William McJeep, and he's now having a shot at goals as he walks in probably 42 metres out, winds up, thumps it, and I reckon he's shanked it to the narrow side and behind.
Looks like Williams has come back on here for Tarwin, which is good. We'll see how he goes. Mitch, you keep your eyes on him. Make sure he's still moving freely.
Staley's got the ball now. He's looking for some options coming out of fullback. And now plays on to the far side, thumps it down the middle. He's nearly going to make the centre circle. But Jack Hayes says, oh, well, I'll get it, thanks. And he takes an intercept mark. He switches out to the far side, to the right-hand side on the wing. McGannon picks it up. He's got the mark there. He's played on now as well. And he's kicked it, I reckon, on the full. He has too. And it's a free kick, Tarwin. Then I think there's a definite game style change here. Tarwin has switched it right across goal to... And then they've taken the mark and switched it again to the far side. So we've gone from one flank to the other flank, and we're no better off except just on the other side. And the ball rolls out for a throw-in.
This just really is showing how much of a classy side Fish Creek are, because they're willing to let Tarwin take their short kicks, but the second one of them hits the deck or is overkicked, they're able to capitalise so quickly.
So the ball thrown back into play right in front of the pie stand. Rhett Wiedemann takes it out of the ruck, dishes off a little handball. It's a hot footy to be won. Bit of aerial ping pong. Williams from Tarwin's in there. Looks to be okay. Flicks a handball off, but it's taken by Mitchell. Mitchell wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire strolls on in and says, we'll toss it up. And they move from the hot dog stand to just in front of the Fish Creek change rooms here. That's about 15 metres. And it's heading in the right direction for the home side, Hutch.
Yes, it is. So... Wiedemann wins a tap, and it's just a contested possession again out there, and I think it's rolled out of bounds on the boundary. Umpire said, I'll have it. Thank you. So we're not much happening over there. It's just good for the spectators on that are congregated on that side, but not much good for us because we're on the other side. Boundary umpire throws it in. Wiedemann v. Cummings again. Wiedemann gets a front spot. 0-0 draw, and the ball hasn't gone anywhere, and I think it's going to get locked. No, it's just bobbing and bandling around. Comes out. Matt Williams gets a quick handball out, quick kick from Lucas Harmer up to the right half forward flank for Tarwin. Garnham's just, he tried to get around, and the big long arms of Jack Hayes has wrapped him up in a tackle, and he's been paid holding the ball. Jack Hayes plays on now. No, he's been told to go back behind his mark. Now he plays on, switches backwards and across. It's bouncing, so don't fumble that. And he picks it up there, and it's just gone out of sight. And onto Jared Walker. Walker now handballs it out towards the wing. Harrison Smith is trying to take on the tackler. Hang on, yes, the umpire's got a penny for that. Once you evade, you're pinned.
So Tarwin now take on the free kick, and he had the trays and bits on there, old H. Smith, and he sat his opponent on the derriere after he's kicked it, and the umpire said, not on my watch. We'll have a free kick down the field, and it will go down the field.
It's going to be Senior Gibson, the beneficiary of that.
To Senior Gibson, just outside or just inside the 50, and he's tried to play a sneaky handball there. Come on, mate, you've got to be better than that. You've got to be better than that. Come round behind your mark.
And as it turns out, he kicked a point anyway, so I think, yes, umpire, I will bring it back, thank you.
The hyphen from about 50, and they really need it. They really, really need it here. Let's see what he can do. They've got to get him the footy first. That's been an effort in itself. He's finally got the prune back in his hand, and now he'll go back from where he's going to kick it.
A lot of white and red jumpers down there trying to find a Garnham lead, dummy lead.
So the kick comes in, Hutch.
Yep, and it's intercepted by Jack Hayes. Ball up with Houston's got it, and umpire comes in and we'll have a ball up. Thank you.
Seemed to sit on Hayes' head for an eternity, and he's just spilled it at the last second, and we're going to get a stoppage down there, and he's going to take the ruck work on.
Yeah, Hayes v. whoever.
He wins the tap down to his teammate, who goes long down the line and goes through some legs. A little bit of space here, but not a lot because it's closed down quickly. But he just made his own space. He tried to take on a couple of tacklers there, did
Kane McCarthy,
and he was stopped pretty quickly by the Fish Creek Brigade. And now Handball comes out wide. He's going to find Brady Mitchell, who's got a lot of space here, a lot of time, takes all of it and goes long down the line.
He's overkicked it a little bit, but Wiedemann comes out probably and takes a fine mark, and I think he's got it in him. He's certainly looking at not looking at handing that off. He's lining up, probably 45-degree angle, wrong side for a left footer. Or right side for a left footer if he swings it around. Yeah, sorry about that.
Correct side.
Correct side for a left footer. So he wanders in now, deliberate, and kicks the wind's bringing it back. Oh, what a goal. A great goal. Jackson Wiedemann, goal. They're kicking them from anywhere, those big boys. Geez, they're good.
So he joins his brother on the goal-kicking list. Jack with 1, Wiedemann with 1, and probably they've been going 3 and 2 in the vote so far today. That brings the scores. Tarwin are on 5 goals, 3, 33 to Fish Creek. What do we got there? 9 goals, 1. So it'll be 55. So back out to the 13. No, bigger margin than a 13-point margin now.
Get the calculator out, young fella.
Going to need to here, but Fish Creek certainly look more dominant. But this is how they started the game, and Tarwin were able to come back into it. So for their sake and for any neutral listeners or viewers, hopefully that's what happens.
So back in the middle we go. The 2 ruckmen will go at it again. Fish Creek get over the top. Ball in, we won. Hack forward by Williams. It goes to half forward. Cameron lurks. Can't get the ball. Ground level picked up by Tarwin. Free kick paid. And it'll go to Tarwin on the half-back line. Play on they do. A little short pass in there finds a teammate. Haven't gained a great deal, but they've still got the footy. Now the little give to the drive-by. The kick's not ideal. Heads down the line. Dawling's the first one there for Fish Creek, but he overruns it. Wiedemann there to help him out, and the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw. And it's just gone flat here, Hutch. I can feel it in here. It's just gone a little bit flat. We need to find our way to a Tarwin goal, I reckon, to get the natives up and about a little bit.
Yeah, no, we need something to happen. So the boundary umpire has got to hold the ball. Wiedemann V coming again. Throws it in. Wiedemann pushes into the front spot, taps it down, and Fish Creek pick it up and it's been wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. I just think there's been a bit of game style change with Tarwin. I think they're starting to chip it around a little bit, and they're actually it's not paying off at the moment because they keep turning it over. Umpire McCoy throws it up in the air. Cummings wins the tap straight to Jackson Wiedemann, and it's wrapped up again. And the umpire will ball it up.
It's just ridiculous that he knows where to get to. Every time he just knows where the ball's going to be. It's like he's got tomorrow's newspaper. So the ball goes up, ball goes down. No one can get it clear initially. Stacks on the mill. Oh, well, Jacko Wiedemann, go and pick the footy up, why don't you? So he does. Kicks it up and down the chimney, lands on centre wing. Cameron has it spoiled away from him. We've advanced the ball about 30 metres. It's centre wing, far side of the ground. Halfway between the netball court and the bowls club, if you know the venue. This quarter so far, we've played approximately,
About
precisely
13
minutes. And Fish Creek have extended their lead slightly. Tarwin's still in the contest but can't put it on the scoreboard, and Fish Creek win the stoppage. Fumble, and able to get through it. Amazing. And there's some Harlem Globetrotter stuff to Davis. He goes long down the line looking for McTaggart. The half volley's no good for him. You got to hit him in the chest. You got to put it in the window. And he'll swallow it every time, and the ball goes out of bounds for a throw-in the forward 50 for Fishy. And we've got a limper here, Mitch. Spot the limper and work out what's going on there for us, and I'll watch the footy as they flick it back into play. Tarwin at ground level win the footy. A little flick handball forward, finds space, finds grass, which is exactly what they don't want. And the
umpires played a throw against McTaggart.
That's Jack Davis, who's come off the ground, who's certainly been one of the better players. He doesn't look in too much discomfort, but although he has just dropped to the ground, looking to get a massage, so I'll keep an eye on it to see what exactly the problem is.
And the ball's gone up the centre wing. Tarwin have released the immediate danger, but it's going to come back pretty promptly. And mark on halfway between wing and centre half forward for Fish Creek. They now go the short game. Can't find the target, but can find the drive-by. The handball over the top into a little bit of space where there wasn't any. Finds Hayes. Hayes gets it on the shoe. The lead comes out from Cameron. It gets over the back of his bonds. No one can pick it up cleanly. It's a hot footy. And the umpire says, give it to me. I'm going to toss it in the air about 40 out from the Fish Creek goal. And for the sake of the contest, Hutch, we don't want them to score. But we're impartial here. We'll take what comes. They wrestle. McTaggart wins a tap down. Running shot on goal and quality finish from Mitchell. And that might be the knife right at the heart of this game. Tarwin have fought and scrapped, but the quality of Fish Creek just comes to the fore, and they go bang, and they've really put some space on the scoreboard here, Mitch.
Yeah, they definitely have. I've just been keeping an eye on Davis, who's come off the ground. He was handed a little hydration pack by the look of it, and the trainer's working on his calves here. I reckon it was cramping, because I dead set believe I could see the calves cramping from up here in the commentary box. He looked in a lot of discomfort for that, but Fish Creek really are just a classy side. Any time that they turn the ball over, coming back off the Tarwin kick in, or a kick out of defence, and they've managed to score again. So that brings their lead up to 31 points now. So they're doing very, very well. Tarwin 33, and it's going to be Fish Creek 50, more than 56, I think 65, with about 16 minutes played, rather.
So the ball goes back into the middle of the ground, and it's won again at ground level by the boys from Fish Creek, but a big tackle there from Garnham stops them in their tracks. And we'll have another toss. We'll have another ball up in the middle of the ground. Outside the big circle, though, Hutch, I'm happy for everyone to be around this time.
All right, they can stay.
They can all stay, don't have to go home. Ball goes up, ball comes down, nil all draw. Garnham gets it, dribbles it forward. Goes and gets his own footy under whack in the mouth for his trouble. Williams is there riding shotgun with him. Garnham's going to be pinged for holding the prune. No, the umpire says he had no hope of getting rid of it. So he'll ball it in the air, and he had no hope of getting rid of it because he had a bloke sitting on top of him by the name of Levi Coxedge. So the ball gets tossed in the air again. Big McTaggart's come up to do the ruck work. Secondary knock forward, finds Garnham again. Garnham flicks a handball out, but they're wrapped up in another tackle. If it's not bloody Garnham, it's Wiedemann. Imagine them on the same side. They'd be unbeatable. 6.5 forward here. 17.5 gone. Fish Creek out to a 5-goal lead. McTaggart just says, get out of my way. I'm getting the footy, and he does. Gets the tap down, but they can't win the stoppage. Ball goes forward there, off the boot of Harmer, into the forward 50. No one able to grab it initially. Yan comes in, flicks up a handball, sets a teammate up with a hospital pass. The umpire says, play on. He said, I would play on if I could stand up. I've just been drilled. And Fish Creek turned defence into attack, come out to the wing. Really good defensive work there by Tarwin, prevents the mark. Ball there to be won on centre wing. Fish Creek have got it. They look to come back through the middle and come up here to half forward. Numbers back there, though, for Tarwin. Steadying mark taken in defence by Ricky O. And he comes through the middle of the ground. Danger if they don't grab this. Real danger as senior Gibson just struggles to hold onto the footy and stop Fish Creek turning defence into attack yet again. And it's really, really water in the finger holes here, Hutch. Fingers in the water holes here of the dike. It's about to burst,
It's about to burst, I think so. I think that Tarwin are really risking over-possessing it and losing control of the game. Ball goes up, McTaggart wins it out, one-handed out of the ruck, kicks it left foot up along the wing, intercepted by Lockie Jones, who kicks it down, and it's end up in the forward line, and Jackson Wiedemann flies, ball's come off hands, and it's been rushed over for a boundary throw-in. Yeah, I think
probably need to go back to what was getting them the ball in the forward 50 earlier, which was fast ball movement.
Yeah, correct. None of this over-possessing stuff.
So back into the forward 50 we go. Ball gets tossed in around 25, 30 metres around from goal. It's won at ground level by Fish Creek. Snap around the corner is going to end up in row Q because of Fist. No, he missed it. Ball at ground level. Bright picks it up, wrapped up in a tackle.
Yep.
And holding the ball has been paid.
Yes. Try to evade.
Yeah, fair enough too. If you're going to have a shot on goal,
Yep.
may as well have a crack at it. And Tarwin will get the free kick. Last line of defence again.
No, swapping players, the wrong bloke. So Fergus Warren's got the ball, looking out. He's looking, handballs across the face of goal. Switch, they're coming out to the near side, and it's been kicked out and marked by Tarwin. Now the short pass again into the centre, and then it's hit the ground high, so they've won the free kick, and that's Kane McCarthy. McCarthy's got it, looking for options, still looking short, and he does. He goes short, straight down the middle, and it's marked by Tarwin. Batako reels around on his right foot, kicks long to Del Pozo, but it's intercepted by Dorling. So, just need a key forward to stand up.
So Fish Creek with the ball in their defensive 50 again. Little short options on. Goes over the head of the anticipated kicker. Tarwin turning into attack, and a mark taken about 60 out from goal. And that mark's been taken down there by Harley.
So maybe that move has been made, sending him forward, trying to get some goals on the board.
So Harley now from the best part of 55 out. Kick on its way, steals a couple of yards, gets a decent bit of shoe on it, hangs it out to the right, stays out to the right, minor score only. Well, they ain't got the time or the inclination for this minor score malarkey. They've got to get it through the big sticks, and they've got to do it repeatedly, and they've got to do it soon. And Fish Creek will bring it back into play, and they go far side of the ground. Sideways helicopter punt kick, gets over the back of the contest. Cameron gets to it on centre wing, keeps it alive with an underground handball. A little bit cute. Goes back in a second time to win the footy back. And then he says, rightio, give it to me, the umpire. We'll ball this one up. And it just seems that everything Fish Creek are doing is just coming a little bit easier than what Tarwin's doing. And they get the ball out into a safe area. They win the ruck clearance. Handball. Now we go self-handball. He can do it all. No, he can't do it all because he got wrapped up in a tackle straight away and probably should get a free kick against him for being a smarty pants. Handball to yourself in senior footy. Give me a spell. But nonetheless, the stoppage on centre wing, far side of the ground. Tarwin get their hands on it first, but it comes down Fish Creek's way, as just seems to be the happening. Round and round the washing machine, the one handball into that little bit of space, then the kick comes into the forward 50, gets out the back of the contest, snap around the corner from the top of the square. The Tarwin defender falls over at the wrong time. All sorts of pressure comes, but they're good enough to stand up and hold on and release to this side of the ground.
So Lockie Jones comes out, kicks it out. It's been intercepted by Harrison, but back to Tarwin, now got possession again. They've gone inboard, a left foot inboard has been marked by Tarwin, and that's
Allen.
Ben Allen. Ben Allen gets it on to Matty Williams. Matty Williams goes laterally. Oh, here we go again. Turnover, and Fish Creek just take 50 metres and straight down the throat of Rhett Wiedemann. He swings around on the left foot and goes long to no one, and end up with Mark McCall on the last line of defence for Tarwin. He switches across to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin takes the mark in the back forward pocket. He goes short again, and it's hit the ground again, and now risk run is being run. Matt Williams gets it out again and here comes Jackson Wiedemann. He's got hold of it. He stands up in the tackle, gets it onto Wiedemann again, up to Gavin Lock. Gavin Lock takes the mark, goes on the right foot, and at the feet of Fish Creek, and it's been now a free kick to, is that Fergus? Is that your man?
Yeah, it's Fergus down there. Tarwin had just made 3 interchanges, and dead set the 3 blokes that came off look like they'd just done about 100 hours down a coal mine. They'd worked that hard.
Tarwin's clear, and there's a bit of debate. No, there's a bit of debate with the goal umpire whether he marked inside or outside the boundary line, and the young goal boundary has said, no, you're outside, and it's now been turned over. And this is the problem that happens with all the turnovers, and now going back to Jack Davis for Fish Creek. So they've just got to tidy that part of their game up, Tarwin, because that's to just keep handing it back to Fish Creek. Davis goes long down the line, down the right side of the boundary, looking for a mark, and what a great mark. And I reckon that's Big Staley again, and I reckon he's one that's been underutilised, Staley. I reckon that he needs to go forward or into the ruck or something. He switches across, mark again. Oh, and he's been run down. And that was Harmer's run down, and his kick was shanked and ended up with a Fish Creek player.
So from the top of the 50 arc, they go to the top of the square as a siren sounds to end the third quarter. The third quarter where Fish Creek really announced themselves as the winners of this game by banging on a couple and keeping Tarwin off the scoreboard. The 3-quarter time score, Mitchie B, is...
We're reading 61-33.
Full score,
at this
please.
stage. Give me one moment, because I think I've managed to get my one wrong in the meantime. So we'll come back to that one in a moment with some quick thoughts on how the quarter was played. I think that... I think the Fish Creek really are just showing their talents off now. I think they've made it a bit easier. They made it a bit harder than what it needed to be to start the game, but now they've really just turned it up a notch.
Yeah, I think the game plan of Tarwin, whether it was by design or not, they started to overpossess the ball. They started chipping it sideways and trying to run the ball, and eventually they ended up with the turnover, and then Fishy just capitalised massively with their talent pool. They there's just no weaknesses in that Fishy side at the moment, and they took most advantage.
So we'll go back to the studio now for a few sponsors' messages and come back with all the third quarter news in just a few moments' time. Now, Sam, any hope for the home side to make some sort of miraculous comeback and get the job done here, or is this a fait accompli?
May God save the king, but I don't think anyone's going to save Tarwin. But if it was a game of euchre, Tar wins all the time. Da, 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 da.
Ask a sensible question. Hutchie, your thoughts? Can they get back into the contest?
No, I'm not sure. Not unless they change something quickly now. It's they've got to really roll the dice now. They've just got to move. Go back to that fast footy where it went end to end without anybody touching it from the opposition. That's where they need to be. I'm just not sure whether, like I said, whether that's by design that they went short and wide and switched around and tried to maintain possession, because it certainly didn't work. And Tarwin just put the foot down when they turned the footy over, and ended up capitalising with three goal to zip quarter.
Yeah, hard contested footy out there, but it hasn't been a pretty game to watch by any stretch. There's been patches where Tarwin in particular moved the ball end to end really well and looked good, but there's been few and far between since quarter time. A 2-point quarter in the third quarter, never going to be enough when Fish Creek are already 3.5 goals in front. Mitch, your thoughts?
I think that Fish Creek's class is really just coming through. Tarwin have tried multiple avenues to try and get this game back on their terms, but Fish Creek just seem to be proven too good. They're able to answer any questions that Tarwin throw their way.
So we'll get in the last quarter in a minute or so. Ken Hutchinson will bring you the last quarter action for the first couple of minutes. Mitchie B will be doing the special comments, and I'll sit back and watch like a proud dad as the two of you do your work for a couple of minutes, and we'll see what happens, because we're hoping that Tarwin can hit the scoreboard early doors and get back into the contest and really give us a strong last quarter. Their effort's been there. They've just got to tidy up those inside 50 entries and see if they can find a marking target in front of the ball to really make a contest out of this one for us, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to build it up, but you really look at it, Tarwin 5-4, they're basically they're nearly halfway behind. So 10-6 to 5-4, they've got to basically kick 5 to just break even. It's just going to be a big task, but if you kick the first one, then you say, you're telling me there's a chance?
Exactly right, Lloyd Christmas. But you did reference their last quarter against Yannar, where I think they kicked 7 of the last 8 goals.
Yeah, they really flew home. So they got it in them. They're not, like I said, not a very big side, but they moved the footy. But they just went away from that, and I'm just not sure why. Like I said, whether it's by design. And as we see again, our umpires are really, really shuffling everybody off the field, outside the fence, please. So we're just a little bit of a delay on the restart. Everyone's got the all clear now. I think we got the all clear. Umpire picks the ball up.
They paid by the hour on a public holiday, or
no? So umpire McCoy holds the ball aloft, walks in. Wiedemann v. Cummings again. Cummings wins the tap, but it goes straight to a free kick hold for William. Luke Williams got a free kick for holding. Swings around on his right foot, kicks long, straight down the ground. A mongrel punt, and I can't see it because it rolls there. Gavin Locke picks it up. Handball's back inboard to Bright. Bright's sort of held, but he's knocked it onto Wiedemann. Jackson Wiedemann swung around the left foot. Oh, my Lord.
Gone very long from about 55 off a step.
Yeah.
And it was a bit Australian test bowler-esque in that one, because it went one way and then swung back the other. I think that'd be certainly a goal to be proud of if you're Jack Wiedemann. But the skill that this guy has, it just seems like it's something he does every week. You think that he can't get any better and he can't do anything more, but every week he turns up and does something else that just blows your mind. And Fish Creek, they extend their lead even more, so it's going to be 11-6. So 72 now, plays 5-4-34. So they're out by over 5 goals, and a goal in the first minute for Fish Creek almost puts a nail in the coffin. If it wasn't already closed shut, it definitely is now, I think.
Ball goes up again in the middle. Cummings v. Wiedemann again. Ball gets shuffled out to Luke Williams. Luke Williams at the bottom of the pack gets paid the free kick against him. So Tarwin come up with the ball. They kick long down, and there's to the half-forward flank, and you've got Ben Allen with it around the boundary. Scrubber kicking towards Matt Williams. Matt Williams picks it up, handballs it over his head to keep it alive. Jack Hayes picks it up. He's left-handed handball off to one of his teammates. Gets it on now to
Blaine Coates.
Blaine
Coates down the line, finds Cameron. Cameron reels round onto his right foot, looking for and finding his teammate in McTaggart, who marks about 45-50 out on the far side boundary line. It's definitely going to be a tough kick for him, but watching him in the first quarter where he kicked 2 in the first 5 minutes, he's definitely got the skill for it. He's had a quiet afternoon since then, been playing quite a bit in the ruck. He struts in from about 55 on the boundary. Hasn't quite got the distance. It goes over the back, and it's Jacko Wiedemann once again who's going to kick another goal. He takes this one on the goal line, and he's going to be able to turn around and just chip it over. Does that, doesn't even take a run in, and that's his second goal, and his third goal, rather, and Fish Creek's second in the first 5 minutes of the last quarter. And it seems like they really are just starting to do it a bit too easy.
Yeah, they've put their foot on the accelerator now, and we need someone from Tarwin to really stand up. The Big Cummings has rucked manfully all day. We just need to get a little bit of advantage out of him. We've got Garnham in the middle. We've got Yarn, who has been good in places. We just need someone to really get going. Then you've got the class of Wiedemann in there with Hicks.
Gee, it's impressive if you can send him forward and he can take marks like that, and then he just casually strolls up onto the pine.
Umpire Smith throws the ball up, and again, Wiedemann wins a tap to his brother. The ball's pinned to him, and the umpire comes back in for the secondary ball up, and the Jeep wants everyone back out to their starting positions, but no one goes. Cummings gets a front spot, hits it out, gets it on to Coates. Coates handballs back to Wiedemann of the Rep variety. He gets on it, Garnham. Garnham gets a short kick, goes wide laterally, and he's got the free kick for something, so Garnham's got hold of it. He's looking for the handball now. Just look long. So here he goes. Now he's playing on. Now he's looking long, and he's going to hit up a lead. And Jack Hayes punt just fist the ball away. Off to Troy Harley. Harley now on the Yarn. Yarn's kick is smothered, and it's just bobbling around. And Garnham's got hold of it again. Goes around the right foot. Short pass out to Ben Allen. Ben Allen centres the ball high and long, and it's intercepted by McGannon for Fishy. He goes wide out the right half back flank, and his kick is intercepted by marked by Coates.
So Coates on the half-back flank now looks to steady things down. He gets onto the right leg, just a little pass in there. Always a good idea to give the coach a kick when you can. So he gives a handball off there to the run by of Wiedemann. He thumps it up towards the goal square. The big fella McTaggart leads in the chase back. The ball sits for him nicely. A nice little tap back in. Keeps the ball alive. Doing well, the big fella. Still stalks it. Tarwin, though, through weighted numbers will win out. They'll just steady the ship here and they'll get the ball up towards the centre wing. They go through hands initially, and now they get the shoe into the footy, and they've turned it over in the middle of the ground. That'll be Davis taking the mark.
Yeah, that was Hetherington. Hetherington, like they said, they just had play going. Davis goes long now down to McTaggart. McTaggart bullies his way through, and he's been paid pushing in the back, and a free kick to Tarwin, to the big ruckman Cummings. So he's got the hold of the footy. He's looking to go. He handballs off to short, and there's nowhere to kick. So Tarwin along the boundary line, the ball bounces once again, bounces in front of his own player. Now it's bobbling around. Tommy Cameron gets hold of it. Short pass to McTaggart. The call play on. The umpire's call play on. Good luck tackling him. Oh, he's fallen over. 4.4 on the Richter scale. The ball's come out, and now it's just been locked up in a tackle in front of the light tower near the Bowls Club.
I reckon he's not going to be happy when he gets up too, because he's going, what do you think I was playing on? There is not a chance in hell I was playing on. I was within 60 from home. I was going back to have a shot. So up and down it goes. Cummings wins the tap down. Ball gets outside defensive 50 in the hands of Allen. Allen gets wrapped up in a tackle, gets a handball further afield, and the boundary line wins the argument. So far side of the ground, centre wing. We're about 6 minutes into the last quarter. Fish Creek look to have the job done. Tarwin's still in there, still fighting away, still battling it out, but they just can't put it on the scoreboard, unfortunately, for them. So we toss it back into play. Rhett Wiedemann wins it down, then does the groundwork level work as well. Looks like the boundary will win the contest yet again, and we'll toss it back in far side of the ground.
Jack Wiedemann's crept forward here again, so he might be looking to reach his hand further into the bag. He's got 3 already, and they look like they're doing it a bit easier, so I reckon he's looking for a few more.
I'll tell you what else he's got 3 of. He's got 3 of the bloody votes, and that's an absolute given. Tarwin win the clearance. They kick it up and down the chimney. The ball goes further up than it does laterally, and it's won at ground level again by Fish Creek. Tackle laid. The 2 umpires disagree.
Yep, one was going to ball it up, and the other one's paid high to Oscar Bright. No, it's not Bright, it's McGannon.
So McGannon will take the high free kick far side of the ground. He goes a little 7-iron down the line. The big boy comes out on the lead in Wiedemann can't complete the mark. Ball gets out the back of the contest. And there are some kids out the back there going absolutely off their rockers. They're having the time of their lives. Meanwhile, Tarwin are in here trying to hold up and not get an absolute shellacking on the scoreboard because they just can't get the ball out of their defensive 50. They do finally transgress that defensive 50 and get the ball up towards half forward, Hutch.
No, yeah, ball's been spilled, but it's paid interference, and that's Lucas Harmer. He plays on with the handball out to Houston. Houston goes to the top of the square, and finally, and is that? Oh no, that might be your man, Mitch. Is that Troy Harley? I think we're just waiting for him to turn around. Well, there's a few blokes just not happy with each other, a bit of bumping and yeah. So anyway, so if mark to Troy Harley, and he's on like a 15-degree angle. Mitch, you finally got your way. He's just sizing up the goals, and the umpire's just clearing out the protected zone while we wait. Harley comes in now, just starts his run up, and has kicked a goal. All clear. So that's a goal to Harley. Finally a goal to Tarwin, and that quick transition again. Maybe we should be on the coaching staff.
It's their first goal in about 45 minutes of footy too, I reckon. It's taken some time. Mitch, the scores if you could, please.
6-4-40 plays. We got 12-6. So Fish Creek still with a comfortable lead, even though Tarwin have just kicked that one. And it was Troy Harley that managed to creep forward with about 8.5 minutes on the scoreboard. He goes back and kicks his second for the day. And he's got to be a front runner for Tarwin's best on of the day, you'd think. He'd be certainly in the conversation of their best 2 or 3.
Indeed he would. Ball goes back into the middle. Only 3 men allowed outside the small circle. Keep them out of the square because that's important, apparently. And that's exactly what happens. Tarwin win the stoppage. Now they look to go forward. Can they get back-to-back goals in the goodie bag? They go through Allen with a big torp into the forward 50 play in front. Ball hits the deck. Valenta from Fish Creek gets there first. Hayes runs in and rides shotgun, but he gives away a high contact free kick.
And that's Harley again.
Harley again will go back and have another shot on goal, looking for 2 in a minute for himself. He's about 45 metres out on a similar sort of angle. He's on the far side of the ground. And if he goes back and kicks his third, you'd have to think that he probably just goes past Garnham as their best on, Mitch.
Yeah, definitely. It's the move we were asking for, and it seems to be paying off for him. He's come in and struck it pretty cleanly. Not a lot of celebration, though.
Ball was fisted over by Fish Creek for a behind.
So let me guess. Walker to bring it back in?
Jack Davis, actually.
There you go.
Davis goes long down to the right half-back flank. Or maybe even the wing. He's kicked it that well to Jack Hayes. Oh, no, his ball's been spoiled. It's now got hold of, with Coates, has kicked it long down to the half-forward flank. And out comes McTaggart. And he is going to rush the ball and the Tarwin player over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, I reckon Ricky O'Loughlin was very happy that ball didn't just pitch on its end and sit up and hover above him. Because Big McTaggart was there like that bloke out of Happy Gilmore chasing the jacket down the driving range. But McTaggart does the ruck work now. Ball comes to ground. Tarwin advantage for numbers. No one's able to take it cleanly. Wild snap goes towards the goals. And we've got about our world record breaking 19th out of bounds on the full for this game. And just about all of them have been over there. It's a Bermuda Triangle for TW Sherrins that quarter.
It's Hetherington who takes the mark, plays onto a teammate. He's going to look a bit more inboard. Ball hits the deck after a good effort. And the umpire's paid a throw here. He was tackled as soon as he picked it up, but the ball came out in the tackle, so that's been paid a throw. It's going to be a Tarwin kick. Plays it short to a teammate in Houston.
Houston, do you have a problem? He switches across to the other half-back flank with no problems. And that's been marked by Tarwin on the left half-back flank for them. They go down the wing there, and that's a long kick to Patako. Patako takes the mark. He swings in on the right-hand side, and he goes long down to... And here comes Harley. Here comes your man, Mitch. And there he is again. Takes the chest mark, about 45 out on a probably hard angle. I don't know if he's got this in him, but he's going to certainly have a crack. That is for sure.
Well, this is what we were saying earlier, how they needed to go back to how they were playing in the second quarter, where they were just playing some fast footy, kicking it down the line and looking to move the ball through weighted numbers. They've started the quarter off like this after the goal within the first minute from Fish Creek.
So something's happened. Sorry, Mitch. Something's happened there, and then McLeod's got it now because the ball's been reverted back to, unless it was a free kick paid to McLeod, it's obviously been reverted back to him. He's in the same spot as Harley was, but he runs around and plays on. He's kicked it, shanked it off the side, and it's going to be as if Jackson Wiedemann needs a intercept mark, kick straight at him. He moves it across the left half-back flank, and that's taken by Lammers. Lammers goes short again. Oh, he shanks it with his left foot to the back flank, and here comes Jackson Wiedemann. Just get out of the way. Here I come. Oh, I'll have a bounce. Actually, I might even just kick it 60 metres down there, and that's yours, Mitch, because I can't see.
McTaggart looked set for the mark, but it was spoiled forward. Ball comes over the top for Fish Creek. They look to just find a mark, and it's going to be taken over the boundary line by Jacob Lammers. Not by Jacob Lammers, apologies, by Staley. So probably a clever move for him. Rather than try and take on the 3 pursuing Fish Creek runners, he was just going to knock it over the boundary line and look for a tactical reset and hope that they can get the ball out quick again. So the young boundary umpire is walking in about 10-15 metres, making sure he gets it in the required distance. McTaggart in the ruck. You'd have to favour him against his shorter opponent. Wins the ball forward. Ball spills back.
Coates.
Fish Creek player in Coates has tried to take on
Mitchell.
the world. Mitchell tried to take on the world and was unable. Quick kick taken by
Tarwin off to senior Gibson. Gibson looks inboard and goes straight to the centre circle, and the ball has bounced again and made it really hard for his teammates. Fish Krieger picked it up, and is that a Wiedemann coming through there of the other variety this time? Ball's bobbling backwards and forwards. Gavin Locke picks it up, gets on to
Davis.
Davis, is it? Yeah, and he goes long for a behind. Okay.
Yeah, so Tarwin will look to bring it back in. It's all formalities now. Time-wise, we've ticked over
14 minutes.
14 minutes, so about 10 minutes left to go, and it's just a question now of whether or not Fishy can get their hands on the footy and really do some damage, or whether or not Tarwin grip on and walk away with some honourable defeat. So Tarwin get the ball up here to centre wing. It's a 2-on-2 contest out there. Ball trickles out the back. Advantage Fish Creek. The handball can't find a teammate. Still rolling along the ground. Someone picked it. Bend over. Pick it up. The umpire says, you should have been over and picked it up instead of jumping on it. Free kick against you for doing so. So Tarwin will take the free kick. They're trying to open the game up by coming back through the middle, but you've got to find a target rather than find grass when you do that. And they finally pick the ball up, and they do find a target in the middle of the ground this time round. So Garnham dishes a handball off. Tarwin then running it in. Surely Harley's the target. Gets over the back of his head. Defensive mark taken down there.
By Dorling.
By Dorling, the number 10, and he'll just settle things down. Tom Cameron's been over here on the boundary for about an hour trying to get back on. And he's just coaching from down there. Now, I'm not sure if he actually does want to get back on. As the mark's taken down here by McCall, he dishes off a handball where he probably should have kicked. And they're just putting themselves under more and more pressure with the handballs. Pick it up and kick it. Garner nearly gets his head taken off. He finds a little bit of time and space. The Munn kick goes down the line. Davis overruns it. Players come in from both directions. There's a hard forward footy.
And Senior Gibson is wrapped up in the tackle, and the umpire come in and ball it up.
And Cameron finally gets on. He's going to have to start paying rent if he stood there any longer.
Umpire's got two ruckmen. McTaggart versus Cumming, and no one actually wins it. McTaggart rucks his own ball, gets it back to Tarwin. Tarwin pick it up, handball it back, and it's going to be wrapped up in another tackle and another ball up. So we've got McTaggart v. Cumming is again. Ball goes up. And McTaggart thumps it out of the ruck, but to Tarwin. And then Tommy Cameron gets hold, gets it away. And then on to McCarthy. McCarthy goes along. And finally, Mitch's man comes out, Harley, and he takes the chest mark on the lead. So now he's got the same thing, about 35 out, pretty much in front. And the same again, they just got to get it long and deep in there as quickly as possible instead of mucking around with short handball and whatnot.
So Harley comes in now. He's taken 4 or 5 marks this quarter. He's gone in and kicked the goal, a much-needed goal by Tarwin to add some respectability to the scoreboard. It's been a good move. Mitch, you're on the money. Harley forward. He's been a pivotal target down there, but the damage has already been done.
Has been done, but in bad news for Fish Creek, Davis has come off again. So that doesn't look too good for him, given he came off earlier with what looked to be a similar issue. He went back on and played some pretty good footy, but he's come off looking like he was in quite a lot more pain than what he did the first time.
If I'm in charge, and I'm in charge of not much in this world, if I'm in charge, he's taking the boots off and getting the banana lounge and the pina coladas out for the day. Your day is done. So back in the middle we go. The day's not done for everyone, just for him. So it'll be McTaggart to do the ruck work. The big boys come up out of the forward 50, and his compatriot for the day is there with him. Neither of them can get their hands on it. Wiedemann can. Goes to McTaggart. He turns and jets on the big man. Bursts out of the guts and then slams it on his shoe. Finds the target up forward, but it's pinched at ground level by Tarwin. They've picked the footy up and kicked it sideways.
It's Ricky O.
Nearly put it out of bounds, but the ball's now gone back up to centre wing. Stand under that and play fair, and they do. And Tarwin win the footy at ground level. They go through the hands again. The quick kick comes in.
Yarn up to Gibson.
Ball not there to be. Ball is there to be won by Fish Creek, and they do settle things down. They go through the hands, and their handball seems to create rather than just refer pressure. But this time round, they've referred pressure, and it's been holding the ball given against them on the far side of the ground. We might just crack the window here an inch, Mitch, if you don't mind, and just see if we can get a little bit of fresh air, and it's starting to fog up. As they kick the ball into the forward 50 again. Harley again, the target, creates a contest. Ball comes to ground. One at ground level by Tarwin. Quick kick round the corner, smothered off the boot. And the ball trickles over the boundary line where they sell the chips. And bloody good chips they are too. And we'll ball this one, we'll throw this one back into play about a kick and a third from the Tarwin goal. So the ball comes back into play now. Tarwin got their hands on it.
Short kick to Batako.
So Batako now.
He reels around. He dummies on the lead, and he's kicked it up to the forward pocket, and it's now it's been cleared by Fish Creek out to the left half forward flank from Wiedemann to Bright. Bright on now to
Is that Blaine Coates?
Blaine Coates. Yep, Blaine Coates goes inboard to. Brady Mitchell. Brady Mitchell just breaks two tackles with a bit of a don't argue. Gets it on to Tarwin intercepted. And here he goes again. That's Hicks. No, that's Hicks this time on to Tommy Cameron. Tommy Cameron absorbs the tackle, trying to stand up, and has... But no, he hasn't been. Umpire said, I'll have it, thanks, no prior opportunity.
Look out for Jacko Wiedemann here. That's my advice. Look out for Jacko. He put his hand up to do the ruck work. McTaggart's there as well. Jacko just says, get out of the way. There's about three of them that put their hand up, and it's Mitchell that does the ruck work in the end. And he gets wrapped up in a big tackle, and the umpire says, toss it in the air. Do you want to actually nominate a ruckman this time? And I reckon McTaggart will say, as long as I'm here, boys, it might as well be me, and that's exactly what transpires on this occasion. I still reckon Jacko Wiedemann on the drive-by is the option. McTaggart goes up, creates a little bit of space, thumps it out into that space. Wiedemann's out there in position A, picks the ball up, no fumbles the footy, then picks it up, dishes a handball off to a teammate, puts him in some space. Little kick comes forward, Mark taken down there. Is that Houston down there with the nude? No?
No, it's not Houston. But they switched across. I think it's switched across to the... Oh, where are we? I can't even see it. Then there's Houston now. Houston, he's got hold of it on the right half-back flank. He's taken the mark. He's now playing on. He's handballed on to his teammate, who's gone inboard again. And the short pass has got to...
McCarthy, is it?
McCarthy, yes. McCarthy's got the mark. He plays on inboard to... Yeah. Oh, no, he's dropped it to Ben Allen. Ben Allen's taken... He's dropped it onto Staley. Staley gets it onto Garner. Oh, no, Garner's been kicked over the head of Garner. Oscar Bright's got the ball, and I reckon that'll be wrapped up and no prior, and we'll have a ball up, please. So once again, they just mucked around a little bit with it. They just had it went long. They've got a Harley down there waiting for him.
A little bit of GST on that tackle there too. I'm not sure they're friends. So the ball gets tapped down by Rhett Wiedemann, one at ground level by Fish Creek and Lammers. He goes thump. Is it out in the full, Mitch?
Out on the full.
It is out of bounds on the full.
It's going to be Houston to take the kick in.
There we go. Good work by you.
So with about 21 minutes gone, scoreboard looking certainly in favour of Fish Creek here. They are 12-7 playing against Tarwin's 7-5.
So they bring the ball in laterally by the looks of things, Mitchie B.
Yeah, they have. It's coming out with another Tarwin player who goes even further across, finding a teammate. He plays on, goes down the line to centre wing. He's got a leading option, but a big spoil coming in from the Fish Creek player. Picked up, thumped forward, Tom Cameron, front and centre. McTaggart went out with a big chest, couldn't take it. Cameron was there at the flight of the ball, and at the drop of the ball rather, and he's going to win a free kick for high contact and go back about 40 out on about a 35-degree angle. Certainly not looking at passing. He's got his back to goal. The mouth guard's gone in his sock. Got some more umpire whistles. I'm not sure what for here. Think just getting him back around on his line. A couple of the bigger boys have gone down onto the goal line for Fish Creek, but Tom Cameron coming in very, very steady, very deliberate, drives it low, and it's marked on the goal line, turned around, kicks the goal. There was no Tarwin players there defending, and that's going to be Mitch Hicks kicking his first of the day. And Fish Creek's 13th.
Well, once again, they went lateral again, coughed it up, and then Fishy went direct straight to goals. It's probably been a bit of the theme of the day. They're trying their hardest, Tarwin, but they're just lacking a little bit of polish. And I'm not sure that, they've got some big boys out there. Maybe they could change their game style a little bit and start hitting. Got Staley and Harley and maybe they should just sort of change their game style a little bit. So back in the middle now, we got Staley in there for Tarwin v Wiedemann for Fish Creek.
Interesting change defensively here for Tarwin. Their normal ruck coming has gone back. Possibly trying to stem the flow, but it's a great run out of the middle. Ball finds its way to Lamers. Lamers picks it up, slams it on the left boot. Looks pretty straight, and he's kicked a great goal from about 50 metres out. And doesn't he love it, and don't the boys get around him for it?
Straight from the centre stoppage, pure football that. You send the two big boys up in the air. Someone wins it, someone doesn't. The ball hits the deck. You give a handball to a teammate on the drive-by, and then he goes thump from 55. Just draw that play up every time, wouldn't you? And just keep doing that time after time.
Yeah.
Seems easy enough.
Yeah, I'd reckon that'd have a number to it, wouldn't it? Number 3, please.
Yeah.
Bit like your pizza order. I'll just have a number 3 off the menu. So we go back into the centre now, just waiting for the ball to return. We've still got Cummings back in the middle. I think versus Rhett Wiedemann. Ball just as returning. Those boundary umpires have done a little bit of running today and a little bit of throwing. They've done a terrific job for the young kids.
I think they've been saved a few throws by the number of out on the fulls we've had, though. World record down there. So ball back in the middle, we go, and up goes the big boys. Wiedemann gets his hand on it now. Cummings picks it up at ground level, gets it off there to the teammate. Allen, his kick gets smothered straight off the boot, and they'll turn defence into attack again. They go down there towards Smith. Ball spoiled away from him. They go in at ground level. Stacks on the middle, and the umpire will ball it up. Got to be 23, 24 minutes in. Mitch?
Yeah, about 24 and a half in, so the siren mustn't be too far away, but we have had quite a few goals this quarter.
Siren imminent as the ball gets tossed up on the half-forward flank. Interest has probably gone out of the contest. Now it's just a case of don't get injured and worry about next week. Or if you're Fish Creek, worry about tonight and tomorrow. Mid-season ball tonight, reverse raffle tomorrow. Don't come to work on Monday. Thank you very much. Free kick paid in the middle of the ground, and it'll go to Fish Creek. They play on straight away, kick the ball into the forward 50. Another mark in their forward 50. And is that the number 32, Blaine Coates, Mitchie
That
B?
is Blaine Coates. He's going back. About 50 metres out on a 25, 30-degree angle to become Fish Creek's 10th different goal kicker.
Do you have a Blaine Coates stat for me, Mitch?
A Blaine Coates stat.
Yeah, he's played less than 40 senior games for 3 senior premierships.
That's got to be one of the best return rates getting around in local footy.
So Coates comes in to ice the contest as the siren sounds from 48 metres out, the slightest of angles, kick on its way. Well, that's why he's played 40 games and won 3 flags. He kicks behinds when they don't count. Game over. That's all she wrote. Easy win there to the Fish Creek boys in the end. It was a competitive game in parts, but the class of Fish Creek prevails and they run away comfortable winners, Mitchie B.
They definitely do. The scoreboard, final scoreboard reading, Tarwin 7-5 playing Fish Creek's 14-8. So a pretty comfortable win. It started off as a very hot contest early doors, but Tarwin's class just proving too good in late in the game. They're able to kick away and win quite comfortably.
Yeah, it's a quality side we're dealing with there. And to be fair, Tarwin aren't probably that far away. I think if they had a forward target throughout the course of the day, they probably would have been in the contest for a little bit longer. But Fish Creek clearly the better side. And I guess that's why them and are in that mix for that second spot. If we give up Foster and say that they're on top and, borderline untouchable, they're a game clear at the moment. And their percentage is huge, so you're going to have Foster drop 2 games between now and the end of the season for someone to steal top spot. So let's say you need second spot to get the double chance. Yanar and Fish Creek are going to be worthy combatants as it goes down to the wire across the back end of the season for that position. And I think Tarwin fall into the mix slightly below that. I think MDU are probably slightly clear.
Yeah, Thorpedale.
I think Tarwin then fall into that mix of looking for those spots at 5th and 6th, which is probably spots we assumed would be open at the start of the year.
So the fight for second spot on the ladder is on, because I know I've got Foster twice in the run home before the end of the year. I think Fish Creek have played Foster. They've got them one more time, and then they've got everyone below them on the ladder. So that percentage booster now, I think they need to make up a couple of percent. They need to get to 200 to get over Yanar. But in the end, I don't know that we learned a whole lot more about Fish Creek that we didn't already know. I think that's their go-to game style. Tarwin really needs to play some. They need to keep playing top side so they can work out, well, how's the best way we're going to do it, and what's the makeup of our game, our team look like to be able to compete with these top sides. I think what do you predict, Jeep?
I said 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah. So there you go. I think that's pretty much.
Don't want to get too far ahead and don't want to jump in over the top you can, but in the next 4 weeks, Fish Creek have got the three of the 4 bottom sides before playing Foster again. So with this win, that takes them up to 7 in a row. They'll get, if all goes the way we think, they'll get up to 10 in a row before they play, 9 or 10 in a row before they play Foster. Foster at home as well. So that'll be
And you now have Foster next week, so we'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's me. A beats B, B beats C, C beats A. That's what I'm waiting for. I need Yanar to beat Foster to get me A, B, C.
You lost me at the Pythagoras. You lost me at the Pythagoras mention of A, B, and C in triangles. A couple of your better players for each side, Mitchie B, before we get you to step aside for Sam, the stats man.
Think best on for Fish Creek. It's got to go to Jacko Wiedemann. He would have had at least 35, 40 touches, many clearances, and ended up the day with about 3 goals. For Tarwin, Garnham was hot early on, managed to sneak through and kick a goal, but coming into this last quarter and the third quarter, when they needed someone to stand up to try and get the game back on level terms, Troy Harley just did really well, went forward. Not naturally, he was playing out of position, as some would say, for most of the day, went forward back to his home, which was where he was listed to start the day, and managed to sneak forward and kick 3 out of his side's 7 goals, whilst also playing on some of the best players in the comp, so you got to give credit to him where credit's due.
Yeah, good work by you today, Mitchie B. Hutchie, a couple of your better players for either side?
Yeah, I think so. I think you look at the midfield for, it's a pretty even spread through the midfield. I mean, Jackson Wiedemann was a class above again. Coming for, he rucked manfully against Wiedemann all day, Wiedemann being more athletic. But, the midfield of Tarwin, we're okay in places. Lockie Jones played well. But I think they just need a bit more depth and a bit more class. And you're right, they need a key forward to target, a kick out, and that way they can move that ball as quick as possible. I think they just tried to over-possess the ball a little bit towards the end, and then the turnovers just killed them. And that's what Fishy were just sitting there sweating on the turnover.
Rightio, Sam, you've got all the stats to back it up. The data will definitely confirm what we know, that Fish Creek won pretty handsomely here. What have you got for us?
Tackles, 21 Tarwin. Fish Creek, 15. Some of those tackles become free kicks. Centre clearance is 5. 7 to Fish Creek. 22 inside forward 50s. How much did Fish Creek win by?
A bit.
8 goals.
Yeah.
Well, I should have won by 100. Contested 43, uncontested 32. Free kicks received is 7. They're fantastic in the ground ball possessions, whereas Tarwin are needing a few of them. Contested possessions, 38 to Tarwin, uncontested 36. They got 12 free kicks from some poor tackling attempts from Fish Creek. And yeah, I agree with all of you. They need some key experienced players up the spine.
A couple of your better players from each side, Sam.
All right, where's the list? All right, I still think Jack Hayes was best on ground for Fish Creek because he was always cutting in the back. And how do you pronounce Kieran? Kieran Dorling did a lot of intercepting marks, especially in the third quarter when the ball was coming in. Cameron and Mataggart had their big parts, but I thought the most influential was the Wiedemann brothers. And Luke Williams was up there amongst the best, and so was... Who's three? Sam McGannon. Now, for Tarwin, their best was... I think Kay McCartney was one of their better players. Dylan Gardner, 33. We don't have a number for him.
It's Williams.
Matt
up the
Williams,
top.
yep.
Yeah, Williams up the top. Sorry, if I had my glasses on, I would have seen that. Ricky O'Loughlin was good, and Jordan Botaco was one of the betters, and Will Hetherington in defence.
All right, good work by you today, Sam, as always. Appreciate your efforts there, keeping us up to speed with all the data we know that backs up our assessments or basically makes us liars one way or another at the end of the day. But it was a good game of football. The better side on the day, clearly Fish Creek, and they go away deserved winners. Big weekend for them. The coach yesterday sent me through some information about their side, and he also said that we've got our mid-season ball tonight, our reverse raffle tomorrow. Thank God we've got Monday off.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's right. The Fish Creek are flying, and I think, probably the biggest problem they got, really, without being political, is just their player points and how they get all their best players in the same side. Like, they had 39 or 39. So, I see Jai Stefani back in the reserves this week, so he's a one-pointer. And that's probably, like I said, we don't want to be controversial, but that's probably one of the biggest challenges they've got is how they get their best side on the ground. And to do that, they need more one-pointers.
Yeah, they've got to get Wilson back in the side too. You need that second string in the forward line. And you talk of Foster's front half, and they've got Eddie and Best. And I'm not saying that McTaggart and Wilson are them two, but you need your two strings up there. And I've got there too. Probably got three now, actually, with Grinstead, Jones, Geary, and the big boy. What's his name?
Robertson?
No.
Pratt.
Yeah, he's the one who's really impressed me. Good hands, kicks a lot of goals. But we'll get the opportunity to have a look at them next week too, because I think next Saturday afternoon we're off to Yanar. Is it Foster v Yanar v Foster?
Yanar v Foster, yes.
Yeah, so we'll be out there and doing our work. I'm sure Truck and Dwayne will be back on deck. Sam will be out there doing the stats, and we'll see who else is around to jump on the microphone at any point in time. But that will be an absolute ripping contest, Foster v Yanar next week. So thanks for listening in today. Thanks for your help, Mitchie B. Hope you've enjoyed your opportunity.
Definitely have. Thanks for having me on.
Off to the typewriter, get your article written up for the newspapers. Thanks to yourself, Hutchie.
No problems. I really enjoy this sort of stuff. It's like I said, we were a bit rusty on the Tarwin players because we haven't seen them much. But I think the way the game panned out is 7 goals to Fishy. I think that's about where it's at.
Yeah, they're a good side, Fishy, and we'll see exactly how good in the coming month or so when they take on Foster again. So thanks again for your time. Safe travels back home, and all the best. Bye for now.